coaches to casuals, grassroots to the league. This is Open Gyms. I'm Coach Q.
Coach T, who I be.
Coach Wayne here, baby. We here.
All right. So, fellas, how do y'all feel about reception from the first episode? Thoughts?
Man, I feel like we got some great reception, man. Everybody was very intrigued on the perspective that we were providing and the things we were talking about. You know, I think we selected some great topics to go off of for our first episode that really engage the minds and the hearts of some of our fans and some of the fans of just basketball in general. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, you know, I got some great reception from both females, from mothers and dads, you know, and just casual fans that just were intrigued to hear from perspective of guys who've been around it, played it, coached it, trained it, you know. So it got great responses, man. I'm looking forward to what we're doing going forward, and glad we're at episode 2, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yep. I piggyback off what you saying. Same thing. I was telling Q, I had actually texted him and told him, like, I was getting a lot of good feedback from coaches, trainers, and just guys that I wouldn't think that was going to be watching it. They watching it, and they like, man, I'm ready for the second one when y'all going to do that. And I was like, well, he ain't got back to me yet. I don't know. You know, we got a lot of, you know what I'm saying, content. So I'm like,
for sure.
You know, we're going to get back in there and drop the episode 2. But yeah, the feedback is good, man. And we appreciate y'all support. Everything that we put on there, please like it and subscribe it. We're trying to get over 1,000 subscribers. So guys, make sure you go on there and click that. All it takes you is 5 seconds.
All right. So, fellas, I think it's, I guess, only right to kind of start at some of the origin story of us. It's 3 coaches sitting on the couch. I think an interesting spot to start at would be your first time. Then the kids say, no Diddy, pause, you know, one of those words. YouTube, don't cancel us.
Please don't.
But nonetheless, your first time on the sideline. I love for everybody to kind of talk through the experience of your first time actually getting on the sideline, coaching, and what that felt like.
We jumped in that EA Prep, Winter League.
The one in Hawthorne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember that game, just the emotions, like just standing there and you feel like everybody looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you wondering how you look on the sideline. Do you look the part? And coming from, you know, we was over there previously with y'all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then it's like, you know, to see some of y'all in the gym, it's like, man, I can't let down, you know, the expectation of like, well, maybe he can coach or maybe he can't coach.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
So it was a lot of like anxiety over there, but
that's the
nonetheless,
word, anxiety.
But nonetheless, like, you know, we didn't lose that game bad. We lost that game, but I drew up a play. Didn't think it was going to work. It almost worked. Guy got down the court, missed a shot. But like you said, Q, in those first games, you don't think about the actual the flow of the game. You don't think about a press and a press break, because I didn't know nothing about that. I just knew basketball, offense, defense. Somebody got to score. Somebody got to play defense. And you don't think about the out of bounds plays. You're not thinking about none of that. If it's a player hide, are we gonna go boxing one? You know, are we trapping? None of that came into that. But that first game is just like, am I doing it right? You know what I'm saying? So that's my first time. I remember just having a lot of emotions and anxiety.
For sure.
So I know for me, my first time on the sideline, it almost gave me the rubric to what made me like the version of an analytical coach that I was or am, where my first time, it was so much going on. It almost felt like the game was a blur because at that moment, I didn't really know what to pay attention to. Where, again, if you got a son that's playing, it's so easy to focus on him and what he's doing. If you're just watching as a casual fan, there's no pressure to understand what's actually happening at the moment. So it gives you a little bit more of a relaxed, like, overview of what's happening in the game. Mm-hmm. But when it's you that have to make the decisions to make sure an adjustment needs to be made, it then becomes a spot where, for me at that specific moment, I was like, damn, what should I be looking at right now? Mm-hmm. And for me, that's also where I developed almost what was my coach's checklist, where I had to learn, like, all right, on offense, if something's going wrong, is it this, and this? Mm-hmm. And these are my adjustments for those things. On defense, is it this, or this? These are my adjustments for it. You know what I mean? Again, if it's something miscellaneous, like boxing out, like, all right, these are different things to make sure I check to make sure. But it was all based off of that first experience where I just felt like I was out there butt naked and I ain't know what to do. But who want to grab it?
So I got two experiences. I have my actual first experience coaching, which I want to actually give a shout out to my cousin, Coach Gibson. Well, if he wouldn't have brought me in the game, I probably wouldn't be coaching. Mm-hmm. You know, not to this level at this point. But he had a girls team. He was like, man, cuz, come and help me out a little bit, you know, train the girls, you know, give them a little bit of skill and drills and everything like that. So, all right, cool. So I came around as an assistant coach, kind of just coming to practice training. But my cousin was like, man, you know, well, I'm gonna let you coach this game. So I'm coaching the game. And mind you, these girls at third grade have been coached up and everything. So they know what they're running. But standing up versus sitting down and just watching the game, you know, having a conversation with a player about this or that on the sideline is totally different from standing up and actually running the whole show. Mm-hmm. Like you said, it's a lot of anxiety that goes into that because you want to make sure.
No, I just want to jump in real quick. I think that's a great point. There's also a big jump from being assistant and being head coach.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a great point of distinction that you're making. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, because sitting down, you know, you're able to see the game. You're really not saying too much. You're just basically pointing out few points of the game. Hey, slide the help side. Hey, box out. Hey, set that screen. But when you're really running the show, you're standing up. You're realizing sometimes am I walking too far across the half court? Am I in my box?
Oh, I used to do that.
You know what I mean? Am I calling the right plays? Like, do I want to press right now? Do I want to let them just flow? Do I want to call something? I mean, it was just a lot of thoughts going through my mind. And mind you, as a point guard, you kind of want to let the team kind of flow itself into it, though. But these young ladies was just awesome, man. It made it kind of easy for me, though. But I'm going to tilt that over to the first time I had my own team and coached, which is a little different because you're talking about something you're putting together yourself. So there's some kids that had not made other power teams in a sense. So it had been cut by the CP3, the Team United, and other teams like that. So we were CBC, 12U. I had some kids, man. I started off with 7 kids, man. And we just started in the gym just grinding. So our first game we played against Queen City, Rob McCullough. And, you know, and throughout the game, man, it's just I'm looking, I'm like, yo, I feel like I can use my energy as a player to feed into mine to make them do what I feel like they should do. But it's like, nah, I got to coach better. That's kind of what Q says. Like you develop that checklist to understand what are you looking for to make adjustments. Like what's going wrong? Like why we're not executing, why are we not winning, you know, in a sense, why are we playing so bad? So you learn to not look at it from perspective of, hey, get at them and go at them. It's more so like, what are we not doing together? You know, so I end up getting to take that game because we made a good play when we was down by 20. You know, I'm happy for a kid. He done made a layup. I accidentally tripped the ref. He done tech me up. So I ain't get a tech for which I thought I may get a tech for. So I got a tech for that though. But we ended up getting our butts. What Rob gave us, you know, he gave me my intro, like, you know, like they say with belt ass. He gave me one of them type things. So it was my first, you know, game coaching, especially with the boys and everything. But I'm going to tilt that over to Q. Like, so when your first game, we talked about that. Did you win your first game?
No, I actually didn't.
So tell me about your first win as a coach then.
Okay. And I guess it might almost be the same. It was almost the same team. Well, no, it was the same team. So that game, I can't remember the name of them, but we actually played them this fall ball league. Okay. It was like 3 or 4 kids that was on that same team.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Where the team was playing up and I lost. We actually lost at the buzzer. One of those kids that was on the team that we played in fall ball, he hit the buzzer beater. Okay. And it was one of those games. And that was my first loss. But we actually played them again. And to me, this is almost like a pseudo first win, but
I got you.
It did help where they invited us up to wherever they're at. And they had a whole gym reserved. Maybe Trey, you might have been there. I can't remember or not. But we played against them.
This was grind, right?
Yeah, this was grind.
Third grade?
Third, yeah.
Okay.
And we played against them at their spot, and they had the clock and all that, like the whole shebang, and we ended up winning. Winning against that exact same team. And again, I think that they was a year older, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I got you.
But I can't remember the name of the organization, but nonetheless, that same team I lost to first was where I got my first win at.
Interesting. What about you? You say you lost at the buzzer. I mean, you drew up a play, get a little shot at the buzzer. So, I mean, when did you get your first win?
My first win probably would have been in that same league.
Okay.
But it was probably I know the next game we played after that, we played some older kids and the parents wasn't happy.
You know how that goes, especially in the fall league. Yeah, you're gonna get, especially at that time. You ain't too many second or third grade teams getting in the fall league, so you're gonna play some fourth grade, even some fifth grader, just to kind of fill a spot.
And they was upset about that, but we did get a win. I don't remember the win too well, but I got my first win in that league. And I know that's probably, but I done coached a lot of games. He has.
Yeah.
But what would you say?
So I remember my first win as a coach more than anything because it was against my former AAU team I played with growing up. So we was playing CBC. I'm CBC. We playing against the Charlotte Nets. So kind of same thing when y'all we played them in a tournament earlier, and they beat us. We end up making our way back, them CBC tournament, make your way back to the championship through the loser bracket and everything. So we see them in the championship, and I just never forget it because I drew up a play at the end of the game. It was a stack in the middle. We had the ball at half court. I took the two back kids and ran them back court to the corner, set a screen up to it was basically 1-on-1 going to our basket this way. Kid threw a perfect pass, caught it 1-2, laid up, buzzer beater. Oh, bro, I was happy as I don't know. We stormed the court like we don't win a championship. Y'all read in the Facebook the post it though, but I remember so much because it pops in my memory every year. So I get to see it every year that got that first win against the team I played with. So it was like more of a nostalgia moment though. But it, like you say, man, you coach so many games though, but there's certain games that you would never forget. There's certain games that no matter when they were, you're gonna always have the story, the time, color y'all wore, what happened in the game and everything though. So
those are one of those games. This, Wayne, who gave you the sauce? Like I know you played point guard, but is there anybody in particular that kind of helped you prepare, practice plan, or just kind of guide you, as you got started? No, when you start coaching. Oh man,
I would give it to, because literally playing with CBC, we stayed very local.
Yeah,
and we really, I didn't see none of those Team United teams because we, CBC had their own thing going on. It was kind of like, the second tier team. So it was Queen City, bro. Queen City used to smack me Rob McCullough team used to smack me every tournament.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when I first beat them, bro, he had kids that I end up building into as well. Like the same way he coached his kids at that time is what I built into when I started from the young boys up to the point. It was like I kind of pulled from Rob, bro, because Rob just had them boys dogs. You know what I mean? They barking, his son out there barking and talking. It's like, y'all like these little dudes, bro. They get on my nerves. They beating us though, but I like these little dudes. So I would say it was Rob, and then I also would say it was Ben.
Yeah. Coach Ben,
Coach Ben, I'm talking from CCLE.
Yeah.
And he may have been with somebody, he may have been with a different team though, but we know those type of teams, once you get kids that can execute, set a screen, backdoor, it ain't no weak side.
Man, he is so good.
Tagging me, bro. I was like, man, what the heck?
But
those are the coaches that made me adjust to how to really get the best out of my kids at the youth age and not try to coach them like they were in college and high school, really adjust each age group to what they can retain, implement on the court, and also get better and carry with them for life. You know what I mean?
Coach Rob, Coach Ben, holler, I'm
gonna shoot y'all out, bro. Like y'all Charlotte, bro. You know what I mean?
Anybody with you, Q?
So I guess I'll try and answer this out 2 different ways. So I know I got my coaching chops. A little bit definitely would have came from some of the structure of Coach Ed. Shout out Coach Ed. Grind Academy, Team United, Northside Christian. I'm not sure exactly where he's at right now, but
behind the scenes of CPI.
Okay, there we go. But the idea of like very specific in structuring, like practices and times and things like that. I think this guy right here, Trey, he was a little early in the game, so there was like certain things, and then he was also like he would kind of like play assistant when he also had like a older group as well. So like it'll be like different little things that he'll kind of toss my way that I'll kind of pay attention to. I would listen to. It was another guy. I think who he's over at Lake Norman right now. He just came back. Josh, he got a son that's 2027 too. He was a coach at West Mac.
Tim Fields.
Yeah,
Coach
Tim. Tim. He it was a couple different little things that I picked up listening to him when he was over there as well.
Yeah, because Tim trained. Tim. He Boo Williams. Boo Williams died.
Yeah.
He's been around it for a long time. Ran into him, and he's in Salisbury. He was at Livingstone when I was there and everything like that. So we kind of came across paths then.
Yeah. So it was a couple things from him, but then if I'm talking about making me a better coach, I think where I've really kind of cut my teeth at was those grind Team United games, where that's where I understood how not to lose, where I had to understand, all right, exactly with the kids that I have, how am I going to attack a diamond press? All right, damn. Now, how am I going to attack a man-to-man press when every kid is up on you? All right, damn. Now, how I'm going a 1-3-1 full court? Yeah. Damn. All right, so now they in half court, and all right, whether they running a hot 2-3 or whatever it is, I had to learn how to make adjustments, and that's where I watched film. And I looked at who I had and how to actually make sure that inside whichever scenario that was thrown at me, if I was going to lose, it was because we didn't win. It wasn't because you beat me. Right. And that was something that
throwing it at your ass too. Boy.
Yeah.
But I mean, one thing he brought to the game that, I really wasn't into was more so he was a film guy.
Yeah, he was.
Early. You know what I mean? And the crazy part about it, I wouldn't even know where people are putting games on film yet. I'm thinking about you got to hit a parent up like, yo, did you record the game? I'm hitting up a certain parent. Now I got to film my kid. You know what I mean? What I'm talking about. It's like, you didn't get the whole game? Nah, bro, I just got my kid. So it's like, I never had them opportunities because, all the parents were so engaged. Nobody really wanted to kind of take that stance to just record the whole game. You know what I mean? So I used to just watch a lot of games. So like I was the type of person that we played at 9. We don't play again to 1. I'm in the gym the whole time.
Right.
That means we eating the junk food. The kids follow me around. They may go find some other kids they cool with, whatever it may be though. But I'm at that court. I'm at this court. I'm looking at that team, that coach, that player, how they using this, how they attacking that. And also just pulling from my previous experiences playing. Yeah. Like what did my coach run that helped us be successful? You know what I mean? Like I went through a run in AAU where we were just one of the best teams ever in North Carolina for like 4 years straight. We talking about, Final Fours every year, D1 players, college. Well, it ain't about D1. Free education for everybody on the team. We had football guys that ended up going to the NFL, had basketball guys that played overseas, had a chance to play in the NBA, all those type of things. Even guys coaching now, shout out to Coach Justin Gray out the coast of Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, we got guys doing things like that I came up with that we had a great coach. So it's pulling from my experience as far as being coached, applying it to, the age group I'm with, because my first time coaching, I had 12 U boys. So I'm kind of fast track past all the 2nd through 4th grade type of thing. So I got thrown in the fire a little bit, and I had them from 6th to 8th grade, then dropped back down to 2nd grade. So that's why I kind of had more of a feel for the game for them. When even though I was coaching against you, and we was high energy, but tactical wise, I had been through the fire.
You had some things in your pocket that I had to learn.
Some things that that was just I know I can go to that he ain't seen yet. You know what I mean? Or attack. We're talking about kids. You don't want to pick on a kid, but I know this kid can't go left, so we gonna send this kid left every single time. Or we gonna turn him. Nah, let's go get that steal. You know what I mean? It's one of them type things though. But pulling from all those type of experiences, kind of has built me to have that knowledge that I have now. And it's fun playing against y'all and seeing y'all do what y'all have done as well. Oh yeah, what I mean, for real.
Yeah,
for sure.
If I was to say, who helped me, I would kind of go where Q went. When I first got into it, that EA Prep Winter League, my man Mike, he had a son, Justin.
You I know you're talking about tall Mike.
Yeah. I ain't seen him in a while, but he was one.
Victory Christian.
Yeah. Okay. Justin and Victory Christian going crazy.
He's going crazy.
Yeah. So I know after that season, like one game in particular, that's when Ed was starting grind.
Okay.
And Justin, dad Mike came up to me and was like, "Hey man, you wanna coach travel ball?" And he was like the one that kind of approached me with it. And like shout out to Ed, like he is one of the guys I asked the questions I had in that first game, the anxiety I had. I'm saying, hey, in a practice with a practice plan, because I was a football kid.
I got you. Okay.
And then I started basketball late and, got the game, but I was like, where do I start? How do I build a practice plan? Mm-hmm. And he was like, you run this 4 quarters. You can touch everything, skill development, the game, the situation, and all this all in one, and you'll hit it every practice. So to this day, I use the 4 quarters, coaches. If you don't know what that is, 4 quarters practice plan, 2 hours, 30-minute segments. You break it up into 4, and you work on the things that your kids need in each segment.
Yeah,
and that right there is something I use to this day. If we're gonna give people their flowers to give to them, you shout it out your coaches, we shout it out theirs, and there you go, guys.
All right.
For sure.
All right. So talking about adjustments, I got a meme I think that kind of is fitting when it comes down to adjustments.
Okay.
So I'm gonna play this one. We got a Duke fan here. Y'all see the Duke flag.
Yes, sir.
It almost feels sacrilegious, but I got it up back there.
And it's above the Carolina, like, bro.
It feels bad, but
I just man, you got to show me some love in here, Q.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
They understand North Carolina. They still hoop state. So they get love on that aspect.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so this is a Duke zone bus. This is quick, but
2 turnovers and 0 of 2 shooting for Jack Forrest, 5th-year senior, most experienced guy for Bucknell.
Oh, I like that.
Here's Mitch. 2 turnovers.
I'll let it run again.
And 0 of 2 shooing for Jack Forrest, 5th-year senior, most experienced guy for Bucknell. High-low here.
Nonetheless, as you see, it's a quick hitter in a zone to attack a 2-3.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll ask y'all, throw out to y'all, what are some, whether it's a quick hitter that you have or concepts that you like to go to when attacking zone?
Well, it's attacking any zone. The main key is getting the ball in the middle. Or getting to a certain shot based on the overload or things of that nature, though. But the key to any zone is always getting the ball to the middle, quick reversals, penetration into the gaps, pause, like the kids say, pause.
Gotta say that.
Gotta say the pause.
They catch me all the time, bro. I'm like, man, my mind ain't there.
So you got to get in the gaps and create situations where you have 2 on the ball and you can kick out either for a quick 3, dump down to the short corner, also getting the ball in the middle. But that particular set we just shown right there, actually, I seen that for the first time. Well, actually live where I was playing with Carolina Premier, and Bobby Montgomery was the coach, and he ran that set. I was like,
yeah.
And shout out to Bobby Montgomery, bro.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna hold no flowers.
Coach. Yeah.
Ain't gonna hold no flowers.
Yeah.
Definitely
He
knows
showed
the game really well.
He showed that. I was like, yo, that's a great concept. You know what I mean? To fake. It was basically a 3 on the other side to really run a kid through to actually get that backside screen and really get a real post. I was like, yo, that's creative. And I'm pretty sure you pulled it from somebody as well, though. But to get kids 8th grade to implement that, it's like, that was a great play. But, I always want to have something that has the defense moving at all times and always trying to get to that middle to break the defense down. Once the ball gets middle, that zone is always broken down anyway. So,
right.
Yeah. Me personally on and that was a 2-3 that was running. I usually go either simple with the 5 in the middle, like you said. So I run a 4 out, and I'll put the ball on one side of the floor, screen the inside of it, penetrate the gap, get him to commit, kick it for that brief second. You got space there to either shoot, drive again, and make the extra kick. That's one set that we used to run. I called that special, but wasn't nothing special about it. It was actually simple. But as coaches, you try to throw out. You try to throw them off.
Yeah,
you might call something.
Defense thought coach, they about to go something special. Watch out!
Nothing special about it. And then another one, I was telling Q, I would run a 4 out against that 2-3 where I would overload, like you said, through a reversal. The ball side guy cuts and rovers behind the baseline to overload the other side.
I got you.
And once you swing the ball and you get it to that wing on the opposite, you get that low guy to lift.
That one-on-one.
And you get that. When you get that, you either going to have a 3 or you can dump it down a quick second. And once he lifts, you got either that one-on-one with the inside guy, and I put a guy that can really score down there, and then you got to dive. So once he commits, you got the dive from the 5 at the top. So that's something I stole, actually. You're talking about it. I stole it watching Moravian Prep. It wasn't even an A team. It was like a B or C team. They was playing in a Phenom joint, and they was playing against another team, and the guy was running it against them. And
don't say
and
steal,
I tweaked
bro.
it.
Don't say steal.
Well, in the coaching community, we all steal.
I'm about to say, I mean, it's really just adapting to a concept that we see that works. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily. It's not like you're stealing somebody's lyrics.
Well,
like
you want to know what?
But
I'll tell you this, Wayne. A lot of times with us, I'll say steal proudly because I learned in that USA basketball community, they all talk like that. And they'll say, I used to go down to the practices down the street, and I stole this drill. And they'll call it that, man, the coach, whoever the coach is, this is coach such and such drill, and we run this, and I've been doing this for 20 years. We still do it today. We got Villanova drill, we got the Bobby Hurley drill, we got all this stuff. Me, I don't mind saying steal because, again, what guys got to understand in this coaching world, we brothers more than enemies. Yeah. And a lot of times we act as if enemies, and we shouldn't. So, me, I take it, I stole it, and I tweaked it. I added something to it that he wasn't doing. And I just added a couple of things to it. And I told Q, like last year when I ran it, I called it stack low offense. Our conversion rate on it was crazy.
Go ahead.
No, I was telling you to pick up. So
I got you. So no, more than anything else though, but like when it comes to those type of things though, and I get you. I guess I don't want nobody to feel like, you know how that can go. Use certain words and everything. But I mean, we're in the coach community. I mean, we borrow, we adapt concepts. I mean, there's only so much in the game,
right,
that can be done in so many ways anyway. Mm-hmm. So really, everything has been stolen from someone. It's just been adapted to your team, how it make it work, to your schemes and everything of that nature. Because what I may do in a 2-3, you may not do in a 2-3. What he may do in a 1-2-2, I may not do in a 1-2-2 or versus it. So, it's all a part of just learning from each other, seeing what works against certain things, and adapting it to how your team plays and how your team can benefit from that. I mean, the best thing about being consistent and efficient.
And if you're a coach, you want to always be open-minded and a student of the game. I am. Always. So when I see something, I'm taking it. If it looked like it worked, like I said, my conversion rate on it last year was crazy. So like every time we ran it, we like scored on it. My kids didn't like it because it was slow, but when we ran it and they went through,
everybody has that one go-to against something that's like, you keep it in the back pocket. You ain't gonna pull it out yet. I got you.
Yeah.
You need a bucket, coach. If we scored in a minute, or it may be Q saying, "Hey, bro, we ain't scored in about 3 minutes."
Well, go ahead, pull that out.
I got some.
I guess what I would say, there's something that I picked up from Ish Smith that I thought was good. And what you said, odds and evens. Oh yeah. So typically, if it's a 2-3. You'll go with a 3-2 front, or like you pretty much just match odds and evens.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And which I think is really, really important. Again, depending on the zone, I think placement is really important.
Oh yeah.
Depending on if they're trapping, I think that also is really important as well.
Oh yeah.
Where to me, I love if you're trapping, we pass and cut through and have man field.
Yeah.
And then typically you're going to get an option out of that no matter what, because it's a disadvantage. I also like especially when it's full court, but even if it's half court, I like to attack where the trap is supposed to be at, but aggressively attack that because it forces them to collapse, and you're collapsing them on purpose where now you know where your disadvantages are.
Yeah.
In essence, kind of like if somebody's running a tall 1-3, if I have a PG, if I send everybody behind those two and set pretty much like a 2-2 back there.
Yeah.
And I know that you're pretty much just funneling my man here.
Yeah.
Even if you don't do a 2-2, you just have one man in the middle, one over top, one backside, and you can have the other guy kind of doing whatever you want him to do. Like if you push that and you're collapsing two, and this man already is over there to where he's going to be kind of out to play, you're going to have an advantage on that side.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's going to be quick pass here, quick pass over the top, and then bing bang. It's going to be a wide open layup. But attacking trapping zones aggressively, a lot of times most people go into it passive, and that's where all your steals and everything comes in. When you actually attack it, you find that like it's so many gaps and opportunities in it. And that, for me, is usually what I attempt to do.
No, you're right about that. I mean, we kind of seen that full-fledged over last weekend in the George Lynch. That last game, it was a team that was up by a lot.
Yeah.
A team that came back, and they basically went to a little half court. It wasn't even really a full trap. It was more so we're going to make you make a decision.
Yeah.
And just the mindset to not be decisive in everything they did, it led to so many turnovers.
Yep.
I think that team may have shot maybe 5 shots in the whole fourth quarter because they were playing not to lose versus playing to win.
Probably felt like they had 10 players on the court.
And the court was the way it looked like it was like they was everywhere, but they were literally covering only 3 spots. And they did that very well till that made them panic, and the ball got to being a hot potato. Next thing you know, it was turnover, 3-3-3, dunk, timeout.
And they done came back from 20.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I mean, we all in agreement that, it's certain ways that you got to play against zone, and you can't sit back and be very passive. You got to be aggressive as well. You got to be aggressive, though. But yeah.
I agree with it. So, fellas, I think this would be a good time to kind of segue into a different version of basketball talk. We're going to hop into some of this league, kind of college a little bit.
Okay.
There's been a lot of talk. I think the Maui Invitational happened this past week, right?
Yeah, boy.
It's a guy that's been going crazy. I don't even know if he was supposed to be the highest touted on his team, but that kid from Rutgers, Dylan Harper,
oh yeah,
he been putting up numbers. There's also an Ace Bailey kid that is making some noise. And then there's that Cooper Flagg guy from that team in Durham. I don't know. Sometimes we seem like he fumbles the bag in the clutch, but that just could be me. But nonetheless, there is a conversation about number 1 picks, first picks in the draft. I'm gonna play this, and then maybe I'll play one more, and then we can get into a conversation about who should be or who would y'all take as the number 1 pick in this upcoming draft. If you was a GM, if you had a team.
Okay.
So somebody explain to me why Dylan Harper is not better than Cooper Flagg, or why he can't be the number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft. This is what I meant, that if you only watch mainstream media and listen to specific outlets, you would think that Cooper Flagg is the best thing since sliced bread. But what I'm watching with this kid, Dylan Harper, is special. The first true freshman to have back-to-back 30-point games in the last 20 years, 37 points and 36 points. And it's not just the fact that he's doing it efficiently, it's the fact that he's playing at his own pace. One of the things that stood out about him when he was playing high school basketball is that he never got sped up. And for him to make that translate to the college basketball level, where things always seem to be sped up, that speaks to how good of a player that he is. And he's also getting to the damn free throw line. I'm no basketball aficionado, but I believe getting to the free throw line 16 times and 14 times in back-to-back games, that's a skill set in this day and time when it comes to the game of basketball. And to me, Scoring 30 points in college basketball, that's like scoring 50 in the NBA. Because when I watch college basketball, it seems like they give more effort on the defensive side of the ball. And whenever the basketball is in Dylan Harper's hands, he makes things happen. Good things happen whenever he touches the basketball. And I know sometimes I come on here and sound like a hypocrite. I say this player number one, Trey Johnson, Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey. That just speaks to how special this damn class. So somebody explain.
All right, let's get a little Cooper.
He's going to be a great second, third option. Putting the ball in his hand and say, you're going to be our superstar, carry us. I don't know if he's ready for that yet.
So what did he not do? As a 17-year-old freshman, leading the team in scoring, rebounding, block, steals. Did they beat y'all?
They did.
So they kicked y'all ass. So what didn't he do to impress you?
What I didn't see was him initiating his offense. When he got the ball, he never actually looked to score. Most of his early buckets, when he tried to go by himself and do something, he struggled. If you put him on a great team, he's your perfect player because he does everything. So if your team is already ready, you just need one piece, he's like the Tim Duncan without the dominance of it. Yeah. You put him in, you fit him in, and he'll figure it out.
All right, talk to me.
That Ace Bailey, though.
Yeah. Talk to me. We got Cooper, we got Ace, and we have
Dylan
Harper.
If I'm going number one, I'm getting Dylan. I'm just and
how tall is Ace Bailey?
I think he's like 6'8". We can look it up.
6'8", 6'9". I want to say that.
That also plays a part into his particular.
Yeah, and it depends on what your team needs.
Yeah. But a player like him, I'm looking at if he's anywhere between 6'8" to 6'10", that's a difference between 6.
Let's say 6'10".
Okay. Okay.
I like Dylan, and I just say, and again, we know in the draft, you drafting off of what you need.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, you're also taking the best player that's available as well.
And it's our local Dookie right now. You're telling me.
Yeah,
you take it. Oh, okay.
Look, because look, you did say something that I mentioned on Facebook that he fumbled the bag and late game on 2 occasions. Flagg, you got to clean that up, man. You have to clean that up. And when you look at this Dylan Harper kid, I watched him. I mean, like you said, getting to the free throw line, he plays the game. You don't see a lot of guys. They ridicule James Harden about that.
Yeah,
being able to, pump fake guys and go up under their arm, and
like I said, it's a skill. It's a skill to get to the free throw line.
He was getting on the free throw line, and that's something that me and Q go back and forth with Lamelo Ball. Like if he drove the ball more, then you would get that, and I think he's better when he do that.
Well, let me ask you this question: then.
Players like
if Hornets had the first pick, who are you picking? Whew. Now we're talking about hypothetically, everybody's healthy.
And right now,
and it's off season right now.
I know who I'd get Cooper.
I would too.
If it's Hornets, because Ace Bailey and Brandon Miller are the same player, pretty much.
That's what
yeah.
And then we already got height at the PG spot. Yeah. It'd be hard to find like minutes for him to do what he needs to do. Where Brad Miller and Lamelo be.
Yeah, Dylan Harper. Yeah, we already got that kind of. They're not him, but we have scoring guys that can score. You got Trey Man now that's proven that he can come off the bench and score. But yeah, man, I would go Flagg if it's for my Hornets.
I got you.
But I like Dylan Harper.
So I look at Dylan Harper as like a baby Shea Gilgeous-Alexander right now, as far as the way he plays at pace.
Mid-range too.
He can give you, 3-level scoring at all phases of the game, and just at his pace though.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. I mean, he gets a little. He can explode when he need to. He can slow it down. He can. He has a pop in his game. He has a bop to it. Then he also has that. Just a smoothness to it.
Paul Pierce game.
That Paul Pierce, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
I feel like he almost reminds you of what we thought Scoot could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's going to be better than Scoot.
But I mean, he also has 4 inches on Scoot too, though.
Yeah. Oh, Scoot only 6'2"?
Scoot was only 6'2".
Okay.
That's why I didn't never understand why they was Hornets, Scoot, or Brandon Miller. You talking about a 6'9", You know,
and I was on the scoop train. I ain't gonna lie to what he was doing it, but
yeah, I mean,
he was right about that.
G League and high level college, two different things too, though. But I mean, like I say, I like Dylan Harper if you're looking for someone that can come in right away and be ready to play an NBA level game and run the show, which is hard to do. Like there are very few point guards we can look at over the last few years that came in prepared to run the show.
Now, let me ask you this. You know, I got to play devil's advocate because I always talk about Lamelo Ball. Did we trade away Lamelo and get?
Don't jump the gun yet.
Okay, all right.
Don't jump the gun yet.
I'm talking about Dylan Harper though. All right.
Yeah, Lord.
Listen, we're gonna talk Lamelo in a little bit.
But I'm talking about Dylan Harper though.
Dylan Harper though.
Dylan
What I'm saying is, if a team. Okay, let's say right now we can't really. It's still early part of the season, but who really doesn't have a lead guard right now that can't really think of nobody right off hand.
Yeah.
Oh, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, Phoenix gets an opportunity to get a kid
but
like
do they
Dylan.
need a Dylan Harper type
with
of
Booker? Would that work?
What I'm saying
Booker, Bill, and KD
is the IQ though. So KD, he's learning to take a step back and just be KD when I need to be KD.
What about the Jazz?
I can see that.
Yeah. Jazz would be a good one. I'm about to say because Harper's still gonna want to get a bucket.
Yeah. I can still see that. The Jazz would be perfect. Bro.
Yeah, Jazz.
Seem like the Jazz.
Is there any other teams out there you think he could fit?
Miami. Miami.
Oh
yeah. Miami.
Yeah,
because they like to play a longer lineup versus just playing, certain like
Miami would be.
There are a lot of positionless players in Miami. You think about Bam could play 1 through 5 if you need to.
And I think what's the name better off the bench? They left Charlotte.
Rozier.
Yeah. So he's not a pure point guard anyway. But and not saying Dylan Harper is, but he can fit the build and he has the size that's going to create some problems on both sides of the ball. So
you going Dylan?
I'm gonna go Dylan, given for what I'm saying, as far as to run the show.
Yeah.
And we all know if you want to pull the bring the player in that's gonna help me fill my stands, I'm gonna pick Cooper. You know what I mean?
Where you going, Q? You going with Coop? You going with the Dookie?
Nah, not first. As of right now, it'd have to be one of them Rucker boys.
Yeah.
I probably would still lean Ace
because of the length.
Yeah, just because of the length.
Yeah. The upside.
And his body ain't even gotten close to filling out.
Yeah.
I seen what he did against another high major McDonald's All-American, in which I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he liked that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'd probably go with Ace Bailey right now. When we check back at the end of the year, maybe it's changing. I think that
I got you.
Harper has shown that he kind of has the dog to take it from him.
Yeah.
And like you're seeing that Ace Bailey, he missed like 2 or 3 games. Harper said, "Hey, listen,
don't even worry about it.
Take this ball and I'm running it like it's football." So as of right now, that's probably where I'd lean at. Would be.
Yeah, I just feel like Cooper game is definitely established. I just feel like Harper's game is a little bit more polished than both of those as far as what he does at his position.
Yeah.
Ace has the most upside.
Yeah.
Because like you say, he hasn't filled into his body yet. Pure athlete, has a good feel for the game. Cooper is just that. I can see Cooper playing 15, 17 years and been having like a Dirk type of career. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not a knock on him or Dirk.
No, but I can.
Oh no, I think
that's
he's a good player. Man.
That's a kudos to somebody compared to Dirk. You know what I mean? Like you could be that. And when I say by being Dirk, mean like he can kind of knock off some of like the athleticism and keep the skill level going to pursue a long career.
Yeah,
we all know that. It's a name the kids won't know, but right now Cooper's Keith Van Horn.
Right. Yeah.
Go back and watch Keith Van Horn in Utah.
He was tough. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Watch Keith Van Horn exactly. Talking about athletic, shoot the 3 ball, can put the ball on the floor, rebound, block shots. You know, hey.
Yeah.
But he spent his career by not leaning more so on athleticism. Being able to be efficient. Yep. Same thing with Dirk. Dirk was never athletic though, but his efficiency into his game allowed him to play a long time.
Yeah.
I can see that with Cooper, not just because they Caucasian. I'm naming them guys. I'm just keeping it up.
I was just about to make that.
I want to put that out there. We're not.
The funny thing is that
Cooper's,
everybody I want to compare him to ends up being a Caucasian.
Yeah,
even though
it's not even Caucasian to compare him to, though, not in a bad way. Though.
To me, he's a more athletic Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
It's like, but that's the comparison that I see with his game.
With a motor, yeah.
Gordon Hayward with a motor.
Yeah,
that's almost exactly what you see.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm blinded by, I don't know. So nonetheless, is there any other commentary on here? Can we get to this?
The only thing I can say is that God forbid that we know that there's an international player right now. That's going to shoot up the charts. That's 17, 18, 19 playing against pros
from France
that we don't know yet.
That we don't know yet. That's going to make that leap, and you're going to be like, dang, it's between these 4 or 5 players. It's going to be that player we don't even know.
Look
at this last year's past draft.
You
know what I mean? So
it's
going to be interesting to see how the season plays out. I wish all these guys good health more than anything else, because that really helps to help your career prosper. Is good health more than anything else. You can showcase your skill, your talent at a high level. So hoping Ace Bailey get back healthy, real soon, get back on that court, and want to see all 3 of them guys really take it to the next level.
For sure. All right. So while we're on league talk right now, I'll play one of these. Again, this is a Hornet podcast. We like to talk Hornets sometimes too.
Hometown.
My Facebook it's been in shambles from one of our panelists. I ain't gonna say who it is. Sometimes he has
myself when I scroll and I see the conversation. I just go straight to the comments. I just go straight to the comments. I already know.
So let's react to Brandon Miller really quickly. Not Brandon Miller, it's Brandon Jennings.
He is the best point guard right now in the NBA.
You said Lamelo Ball is making the case to be the best point guard in the NBA right now.
This is like what I want to see from him. Like when he's healthy, when he can play, But right now he's just excited and he's making the case.
Today's guard they different. They built different. They think different. His ability is what you look for in a point guard. The fact that he can put up really big numbers, but he's really a pass-first guard. If you put better players around him, right, he's going to make plays for them. If his team is weak, he'll score. So he's one of those hybrids that can go back and forth. He's not just strictly a scorer. He has a passing mind.
Fellas, we'll put it at top 5. Do y'all think that currently at this moment, LaMelo Ball fits the criteria to be a top 5 PG in the league?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
For sure. I mean, if we're naming top 5s, point guards. Shea. I think Shea up there. Melo. I'm not gonna put in no order, but Shea,
Tyrese Maxey. When he's healthy.
I'm gonna take De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox. Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox. And is he still a point guard or he's a shooting guard? Steph? Because Steph's still a white one.
Yeah. I guess you still got to
put Steph in there. Then you had this whole argument with Kyrie and Luka. Like, who's the point guard?
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, you can toss that.
He tossed that. You know what I mean? So we're talking about just straight point guards, and I kind of remove Steph out of that and kind of add someone that kind of put some other thing. Because I look at them more as combo guards. You're talking about point guards, De'Aaron Fox, Melo, Shea.
You putting him over
Ja when he's healthy for sure.
I've heard a Ja or
Jalen
LaMelo.
Brunson. You said who?
A Ja or LaMelo.
Ja or LaMelo. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen Ja with talent. We've seen Ja with all-star big man, a borderline all-star shooting guard, and Desmond Bane when he's healthy. And a great supporting cast.
Yeah, amazing.
I think Melo has not played with an other all-star yet. No, he hasn't. No. You can't include Gordon Hayward. He wasn't an all-star when he was a Hornet. You know what I mean? So
he wasn't close to it.
Right.
No, not even close to it. So
he wasn't even playing.
Exactly. So
he collected free money.
Ja has done very well with having talent around him. I will only hope to see what Melo could do with talent, but we're just judging apples to oranges right now.
Yeah.
I'm sadly I have to take Ja first, but Melo right down them heels for me though. You know what I mean? If I'm the two I got to pick between, they like 1A and 1B. There's no 1 and 2. It's 1A and 1B for me. Because, I mean, both of them have their flaws. Both of them do some dumb stuff that can be considered. I'm pretty sure Memphis fans had a conversation like, damn, child, why you take that shot? Why you make that extra spin? Why you do that extra crossover? You could have just,
Ja open gym with him.
Oh, Ja is pure open gym. He's cone drill. Yeah. Ja is cone drill at times. He's looking like people with cones out there, the way he does things. Yeah. And Melo does the same way. It's like their creativity in the game is like above all NBA players right now. Like the things they think of to do or naturally just do in the game that we don't. What the hell?
Lamelo is 2K. Wreck. He in the wreck.
Man, Melo still
limitless range. Look, limitless range on Hall of Fame. Handles for days. Hall of Fame. That's what Lamelo.
He got all the VIC.
He got all that. He got all that. But my take on that, he is, and me and Q go back and forth, and I'll never be a hater. He is shit. I'll never be a hater to a certain extent, but he is top 5. I'll give you that, Q. He is. But y'all already know what it is for me. It's the situation.
But I feel like Gilbert kind of really he did. He kind of answered or kind of aligned what he was saying to what you're saying and your grief with LaMelo. It's more so when he's not playing point guard and he's our de facto scorer. And that's what you have an issue with at times, the shot selection.
And I'll tell you this. Me and him go back and forth. We do. But it's not that he's not good. That's not my argument. Okay. He's good. LaMelo Ball is so good. But he just has to know when to be good and when to be average. Because he has help now. And
not recently.
Yes, he do. He does. He has help. And my argument with Q was, and you seen it the other night with Josh Green, he can produce if you get the ball to him more. LaMelo will go. He will snake a screen and shoot an off balance 3, make 1, but then do it 2 more times.
But that's his shot. I mean, but one thing he like Melo said before he told Iman Shump, he was like, bro, why you pass it to me? You had 2. Melo's like, no, I'll work on that, bro.
Look, we know that's his game.
For sure.
But in the situation, just like I made it to somebody, we up 4. Mm-hmm. He come down, he shoot the bull crap. He misses it. They go on to score. That score leads to a run.
I got you.
But we up 4. He could come down, not do that. Give a guy a chance in the corner. We up 7. Now it's a different game. That's the situation that I'm talking about. Everybody looking at what he's doing, but they're not looking at. He had 7 turnovers that game, and I'm glad we own this because they talked about it on podcast, and I'm glad those led to a 2 or 3, 21 from 19 to 21 points scored on that. So y'all glorifying what LaMelo Ball is doing.
So you saying that every time he turned it over, they scored that
game? Yes, they said it led to 33 points.
I have to go look at that.
They said the turnovers led to 33 turnovers points.
Did lead to them making a lot of fast break points. There's no getting around that. But at the same time, every shot is 50-50.
No, and it is. I'm not.
Are we talking about the 50-point game?
Look, talking about the and we lost.
No, we did lose. But what I would like to say is that if we just look at that game, I seen some of it. I seen like part of third, and some into the 4th.
Yeah.
But box score. To me, if my best player hit 50 shooting over 50%, I can't be mad at that. Like he shot at like 56%.
But we talking about
and got 50.
But we talking about
to me, I can't talk about his shots if he's shooting above average. But when you look at what the box score says for every other player, like the starting lineup was like, I did the number. It was like 22%.
But look, the add on that, the Q that you saying,
talk to me
on the shots that he is missing, it's either leading to a transition bucket or it's a missed opportunity for his teammate. Now, how do we grow as a team if we just letting them score 50 and 60 and guys ain't getting in the rhythm? We know this is a rhythm game. So if I'm not getting my shooter proper touches, even just to feel the basketball, but then you hit him after 5 attempts and he missed, the box score gonna look like that. But if you keeping them in rhythm, I guess, and you doing
I think that's a maybe.
Find that rhythm though.
I'm about to say the game and changed a lot now.
And
when you look at
everybody,
so Miles didn't play that game, right?
No, he didn't.
Oh yeah,
Miles didn't play that game. So
Trey Mann didn't either.
Trey Mann didn't. Talking about your 2 top. Well, your 3 of your 4 scores,
and then didn't play. Out for the season. He didn't play.
Right, but look
who out for the season.
But look at the game against
Grant Williams.
Grant Williams out for the season.
Yeah.
But look at the game against the Knicks.
Play.
We had no Melo, and they only lost by 4.
So the Nets,
the Knicks, with a Brunson, with a Brunson and a Karl Anthony Towns. So all I'm saying is, do we really need Melo?
Yes, we do.
All right, so Trey, think about what you're saying though. Like the team that lost, in which truthfully, likely they was coming off their Thanksgiving dinner. And
don't give them that.
And listen. All I'm saying,
everybody's at the crib.
They was coming off their Thanksgiving dinner, and
a 12 o'clock game at that.
It was a 12 o'clock game, and I think that they just looked at who was playing and was like, "Oh, all right," and they slept because you got to think about this. The top 6 people in our rotation didn't play.
Right.
So if you think that you could roll that team out and win more than 10 games in this league,
that.
No, okay,
I didn't say that.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's a fluke game.
Okay, but I didn't say that.
What you're saying about Melo, I get, but also you got to understand from a point guard's perspective, and I'm out 3 of my top scorers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, everybody else shot about 22%. So that means there were opportunities they got to shoot the ball and make it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Brandon Miller got about 17 of them.
In this particular game, it calls for me to actually be above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by doing that, I may take a shot or 2 or 3 that may not be in the flow.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand right now, 50% shots, or I make it, I miss it. If I make this, we need that.
Right.
Damn, I missed it. We ain't need that. But you can't live like that. You don't live in that mindset of, man, I missed 4 shots in a row. Nah, like I always tell my son, and any shooter, your next shot is your best shot.
Right.
No, and you know what I mean? And if I'm that for the team at that moment, I have to continue to be that.
And Trey, tell me this. I imagine you would have to.
Like Gil said, you want your guard to be able to shoot and make those shots. I'm not questioning that.
Yeah.
I just feel like, and I'm not saying he can't do it, but he has to get better situational for us to be what we're gonna be.
For sure.
So that be my argument. A lot of guys get on there and they think that I'm saying that LaMelo Ball's not good. That's not it.
You just we trade him though.
Look, I'm gonna do that so we can.
Yeah.
But in
you
reality,
responded to him literally saying we should trade him.
Yeah.
Look, I told y'all we should trade him.
But look, in
then you guys
reality,
like, God,
see, that's me poking the bear though. I'm gonna say that. I love LaMelo Ball. I'm gonna do that.
You an official bear poke.
I'm gonna do that because I like to see the reaction from.
I feel you.
But he has to get better.
And I agree with that part. I think that generally speaking, we're all saying that LaMelo has to learn how to win and win in the NBA.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think that we all can say that he hasn't learned how to win and he needs to learn how to win.
Yeah.
And a bit of that comes with, you can go all the way back to like Chino Hills and how they won, to his dad thing, to
him not playing college basketball.
Him not playing college basketball, him coming into the league. He had a good year. And then he got hurt for the past 2 years, so stunted development.
Mm-hmm.
But
was an all-star.
But I tell you, even on why y'all talking about that, his first year, he was what I'm talking about. He was situational.
But look at the players we had, though. Look at the establishment of players.
But look,
we still had a Terry Rozier established.
Yeah, but we seen situational basketball.
PJ Washington. You even had Cody Zeller around.
And then now he's chasing, I want to score 50. We don't need that.
But he was chasing. I think that's what we need to be in that game.
I'm about to say he went.
I don't think we needed 50 out of Melo, bro.
But if you're shooting at over 50%, that's he did it at a good enough clip. If he had 35 shots and he missed 13.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, he was chasing
I'm gonna pull up how many shot attempts.
He was 17 for 30.
So answer that. So
he went over 50%.
Now I gotta ask this because this is the last thing.
It's the last thing. Come on, man.
Do we win more games with him or Donovan Mitchell?
That's a hard I think that
I feel like Donovan Mitchell gonna come and just score 40 in every game and do the same thing, bro.
No, he's not doing that now.
Look at his team, though.
Yeah, this is way better
Look at his team, though, bro.
But
and he's an off guard.
He's a leader, though. That's what y'all forgetting, though. LaMelo's not.
We're also talking about a player that played 3 years of college basketball in the ACC too,
right?
And he's also learned how to win inside the league.
And y'all saying
he's a veteran.
Why are we excusing? When are we going to hold LaMelo accountable?
Bro,
to do that, you're in the league now. You're getting paid. You got the extension. When are you going to be this guy?
All right, Trey. This would be like a Gilbert point that I'll make right now. The reality would be, Donovan Mitchell played 3 years in college basketball,
and then
we just seen LaMelo's first 3 years. Technically, he probably would be coming in as a rookie right now,
right?
If not a rookie, a second year player. So then you judge him at age base and what Donovan was doing at 23.
No, but what happened to the 3 years or the years that he's been here? He's not a rookie.
No, I'm not
still talking about him.
So he's been playing 2 years.
Yeah,
and an all-star.
Right. So why are we talking about him like?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm just because you're comparing him to Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, but you bringing the college part in. That's irrelevant. He's been in the league. No, why not?
So Trey, let just walk with me.
What about LeBron James? LeBron James had no college.
Trey, walk with me real quick.
But if we talk, but listen,
you making a different point than I'm making. That's all I'm saying. Right
but I'm just saying, you talking about college. LeBron James.
So do you understand why I brought up college?
Okay, go ahead.
I brought up college because of age.
Yeah,
and so like if we're making an age comparison in comparison to who was in the league at an earlier time. So now if we're making an age comparison when we're talking about him and Donovan Mitchell,
we're not talking about age.
So right. So.
We're talking about how they perform.
So what you're asking me right now to do is compare LaMelo Ball, who at age-wise would be Donovan Mitchell's rookie year, to Donovan Mitchell, who spent 3 years in college and then he's been in the league, 7-8 years?
But see, what
I think that's a bad comparison to say like who's better right now.
No, it's not, because again,
he's a veteran that's like 9-10 years older than him. That's played in the league, has playoff experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his biggest claim to fame is just scoring 71. It's not being a winner either.
Okay. But again, he's been in the league.
Talking about Melo?
Yeah. And so if we're going to talk about guys and age, let's look at LeBron's first years and LaMelo's first years. Okay. And how they played.
LeBron didn't make the playoffs, Melo did.
That's
even though it was a play-in, but Melo seen success as
his first 2 years.
And Bron did not, though.
Statistical, you're talking about a point guard and a small forward, and you're talking about numbers. But we're talking about guys that's going to get buckets and playing. We're talking about situational basketball.
So Melo,
now you moving the goalposts. Yeah,
you moving the goalposts, bro. Like, so we're talking about Melo, who's a pure point guard who still averaged, I want to say 17.
He's a pure point guard when he's shooting every time. That's a shooting guard.
I think they just called him a hybrid.
Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm saying, like, as a rookie of the year, it may have been 17, 7, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about Bron, a small forward who was more of a scorer. You talking about? I think Bron came in 25, 6, and 6.
They both wings.
I think it was under. It might have been like
23, 22, something like that.
They both wings.
6 and 6.
They both wings.
No, Melo came as a pure point guard and not starting.
They both wins.
That's also
come on, understand. Melo didn't start when he first got there,
right?
And then he came in, earned that spot, and still averaged, I want to say, between 17 and 19, 7 and 6.
Okay.
Then you talking about he went to the play-in game, then the play-in game, then an all-star. Okay. Now you compare him to LeBron, who was a chosen one.
Yeah,
and
let's take the names. I hate having these conversations. But hold on, this when guys want to the chosen one. No, it's basketball, bro. let's leave all that out. We talking about situational. Is he good or bad for it right now?
You see how you just moved it now?
That's the original thing.
No, the original thing was Melo and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, you compared him. Do you say like what was his rookie stats compared to LeBron?
I say, do we win more with Donovan Mitchell or LaMelo?
I feel like it's the same because really you're talking about a team that's still not complete. You have an incomplete team, and
they ain't even played with
the structure of a team that
we ain't talking about. We talking about them two.
What's what I'm saying is though. So you put what I'm saying is Donovan Mitchell is going to go score more than Melo per game. And for the Hornets, you take play for play.
And it might not be
talking about scoring. Are we talking about the whole game? I'm just looking at everything.
What does Donovan Mitchell do?
What does Donovan Mitchell
outside
do?
of scoring?
What you mean?
What does he do outside of scoring?
He plays defense. Melo don't.
You got him on the defensive end.
Okay.
You checked a box.
Okay. He gets assists too. Not more.
No.
Okay. So
Melo's a better PG.
Okay.
Melo's a better PG.
So we're talking about two. We're talking about one check for one check for other.
One's a better leader and the other one's not.
Says by what metric?
By what metric? So what has Donovan Mitchell won?
Look at what they're doing right now.
Led?
Look at what they're doing right now compared to what we do.
I give you this year, but previously, like he about 30 right now. Inside his past 8 years, what has he won?
But what was he?
All he's known for is the bubble years where he put up a bunch of points.
The 50 back to back, and the losing game 7
with the Utah Jazz.
Yeah,
with a team that went to the playoffs.
Right.
So an established team,
and he was first round and out
with the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
And we saying all he was a scorer.
What else did he do?
Yeah, but what I'm saying now is LaMelo doesn't have to do that. That's the whole argument that I have. He doesn't have to be what he's doing right now.
So you want Melo to probably average about 15, 10, and 5.
No, 20, 26. If he around 25, 26.
So all that balances out when I have my talent, my talent around me.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. No, you're right about that.
Even when he got it, he clashes. I told him
when have we had though?
The last conversation we had about that, about who we would start. I said, I would put Brandon Miller. I would bring Brandon Miller off the bench. I was like, no. But it ain't because he's not good to start. But the thing is, LaMelo takes all of the attempts that he should be getting.
Melo gets involved early, bro. Brandon Miller may be in the top 10 field goal attempts in the first quarter.
But and
LaMelo's in the fourth quarter. Like LaMelo closes, Brandon opens.
Exactly. So you look at all Brandon Miller, like when I gamble, bro, Brandon Miller hits my parlay first half. You know what I mean? Melo hits the second half.
Right.
Like Brandon Miller is going to give you the early points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the defenses are geared to guard LaMelo first part of the game.
Yeah.
Right. And you got to think Miles Bridges has barely played this year. He might have played 5 games this year.
That Grant Williams.
Like Mark Williams not played a bit. But then our second option's been out. And that's why it's because like we judging it. And then Trey Mann been going for the past 4-5 games.
So all these guys going, you just still think that LaMelo should be doing what he's doing.
No,
I think this is why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm saying when
none of those guys there and he putting up 40 and 50, he's just doing what he got to do. In my opinion,
I feel like this is short term for as the scoring blast. I feel like once the talent comes back, like you look at when him and Trey Mann on the court together the same and in the game. A lot of times he's running off that ball, letting Trey go get it. He ain't chasing it.
Yeah, Trey done took a couple last shots
for sure.
I've seen that sometimes, bro. I just still think.
I mean,
I just think his situational.
Actually, we were discussing the closing lineups for the Hornets. We were talking about how you may want a Cody Martin in on defense versus him being in on offense.
Right.
I ain't mad at offense defense. They do that for him right now anyway.
Very well, but I mean, when we're healthy, I like what we can bring to the table. I feel like healthy wise, we're a good 9th through 7th seed. You know what I mean? So
I could even push a 6 when we get because we ain't even seen us with real big.
Yeah.
That's the tough part. We haven't been with big.
I feel like right now from this point on, we're really shooting for about that between 6 and 8. You know what I mean? Which is achievable.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like
especially in the East,
we finally have a decent coach that's I like.
He letting them play.
I like. I like what he brings to the table.
And this is the point that I was going to make earlier. I would rather have whether you want to say him or Donovan Mitchell, whoever. Think about both of them. They both can go get 50 for you.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to have a player that can go get 50 if it's necessary.
Right.
When it comes down to like teaching him how to win, cool. That's his own process.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather have a player that can go get 50 and teach him how to win in comparison to just a stat stuffer that, you know what I mean, you can't really rely on when things go bad.
Right.
Like if they're missing all their support, they can't really do much for you. I'd rather still have that guy that can really go get it, and then I can teach him something in comparison than just like your average role player that might on a good night get you 25. And I would live with that, me personally.
I got you on that one.
So you said that with average 25, you would want a LaMelo Ball over that player that could do that.
No, like, so if the ceiling of them, and I said average, so that can go get me 25, should I say?
Okay. I'm about to say the average in 25.
Like, I can see Brandon Miller growing into that role.
Yeah, he'll be a 25.
He would lead the team in scoring.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just him, you know, and as he grows into his body, Brandon Miller, maybe 20 now? Maybe 21?
Yeah, he still ain't grown.
He still ain't finished actually, you know, growing into his body.
About 23, you'll see like
I see what he can do though. Like really, he can be a future All-Star.
Yeah.
Yeah. I give him 2 years.
A long time All-Star. Like, not saying you're gonna be like, well, Brandon Miller be the face of the league. But I can see him being one of them names when in 7 years you like, hey, that boy tough. That boy tough.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like as more healthy we get, you'll start seeing the LaMelo that you want to see. But also embrace the fact that you have a LaMelo.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
we'll fuck around and be a black hole for 5 more years.
You know what I mean?
We could have had Shai Gilgeous, and that's kind of hurt.
We could have had a lot of players that we traded on, but those are preordained trades based on not names, based on picks though. Like he just happened to be the name that got picked that was going to be traded like, regardless anyway.
Yeah.
So really, we weren't making that pick to have him stay in Charlotte, making that pick for the trade itself.
Yeah, that hurt.
You know, it's a few of them like that.
So nonetheless, this has been that our league talk segment. Do you agree with Trey? Should we trade him? I don't know. I like LaMelo in Charlotte.
Yeah.
But to move on, I think this almost kind of meshes college and grassroots a little bit. This new word, it's a 3-letter word, NIL.
Yes, sir.
The introduction of money into the grassroots space, into the college space. I'm going to play a clip. And from there, we can kind of, just get into the conversation a little bit.
Any professional team parking lot. What? They got freight and Lamborghini. What?
How much money they got?
You know how much paper they getting now? They get
talking about back then.
No, I'm talking about now.
I'm talking about the parking lot.
I'm about to say
now.
Now it's different. I had a 96 Explorer.
No, they're not driving, bro.
I'm saying.
That's USC. That's USC.
Shit, you before when you walk into college and do a tour now, it's like, I need a Lambo. What color?
Yeah, where the Lambo at?
What color?
Yeah.
My mom
it was like that.
It's a little different now. Yeah. So it's like you got all this shit to deal with. And like now, I feel sorry for a lot of these NIL youngins. And you know, I want you to get your paper, but we're going to lose a lot of great ones that could have been extraordinary because they're going to max out because you're going to go to a school you shouldn't have probably went to where you're not going to get the best training, the best coaching, to go to the next, to become an elite player on all levels. But you're going to get the bag, though. You might get the bag.
They going to crash out earlier.
You going to go ahead.
Can I tell you something?
Talk to me. What is y'all feelings about the NIL? There has been a lot of money in grassroots and college sports off the books. Some might say that they used to be like the black market and they just made it official. Some people say that now you could look at, I forget is it UNLV, the quarterback, where there's false promises that's being made.
I think that's the one that's suing, right?
Yeah, suing. That's false promises made of what you will give, and then it's reneged. There's the idea of kids becoming complacent, and if you get the bag in high school or college, what do you really need to work for anymore? I don't know. What is your overall thoughts on the introduction of money? We can start at grassroots and then work our way up to college. What is your thoughts on introduction of money in grassroots sports?
Well, I feel like, kudos to those that are getting it. I'm going to start off by saying that. You know what I mean? Kudos to those who have put themselves in a position to be marketed for their image, name, and likeness. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start there. I do feel like at a certain, and like we said, we talked about before, like this is just bigger than basketball and football because the NIL is really started in other sports first. You know what I mean? It became bigger in, we said lacrosse, right? Some of the individual sports like tennis and golf, where they're actually banking for real coming out of high school. or while they're in high school, which is understandable because they're playing an individual sport. They're being, promoted individually. Now, I will say when you talk about grassroots, based on you having 1 million followers, whatever like that, I get it, So in a sense, I feel like it can also build into some complacency where someone gets the bag and like, well, I've made it. I've made my first meal, my first couple of meals. I'm good, but also could be the other side of that and motivates you to want to keep that bag flowing, to build more. And I think that's where the background of a kid comes from, the will of a kid to want to be great and be elite comes from. But it's a two-way street right now, especially on the grassroots level, but I feel like as it gravitates and gets older, as you get older and lead into college, that's why NCAA made their new rules now. Now the national level intent is no longer exempt, no longer around. So now we're putting you on a semester by semester contract now. So if I'm giving you this bread, I can always take it away from you.
Yep.
So now I'm holding you to the standard of almost like the NFL. I can give you the money up front, but I can cut you anytime I want to. So now you're like Rashard McCants is saying, are you teaching these kids to manage the money and manage life now that they're getting it? Or you set them for failure to get to that certain point where you make it to college and you're cut after that first semester, then you taking the whole JUCO route, the CIAA did Division II route to get back up, or do you ever get back up? Because right now I'm seeing a lot of kids, that we seen at certain points, top kids that had to go a different route and haven't made their way back up to that spotlight they were in. So it's a tough situation, but I also, like I said, I commend those who have put themselves in position to get it. But we really have to put in a system for teaching these young individuals, young student athletes how to manage this notoriety and money, because it can turn real ugly really fast the way things are going.
My take on it, you said grassroots.
Yeah, just grassroots at the moment.
Grassroots. I don't like the idea of NIL for that. I think grassroots, they should stick to what they've been doing. And we all know, because we all around basketball, the programs that's the cream of the crop, they take care of the kids, and that could be in shoes, EYBL shoes or EYBL suits, anything, Adidas suits.
Plane tickets back and forth.
Yeah, plane tickets.
Hotel rooms.
Puma suits, all that, shoes, new John Morant, stuff like that. That stuff, do that for the high end players. But introducing money that early, I don't agree with. I feel like you should keep them wanting to work to get to that college level, then experience the NIL. Then with the NIL, I think they should cap that. It shouldn't be, like a big multi-million, because now it's, in life we experience levels.
Yeah.
You got to go, you start here and you get tired of being here. You work harder and you get here. And you tired of being there, then you work harder and you get there. And what they say they're going to crash out is true, because you're giving it to them too early. So money at the grassroots, no. Just sponsor them with clothes, outfit them, shoes, free.
And not to cut you off, Trey, but I will say I feel like you kind of made a good point with capping it. But also, if you look at it, it has become something that where players were able to go out and make money off their own name. So I can go sign autographs now and get paid for it. Like, that's one thing, but it's grown to now where I'm transferring because such and such school is getting me
offering me this.
You know what I mean? Like, it's and I have to dive a little bit more into it, but I think those deals may include having to be a part of a promotion or advertisement for certain companies or things they may be tied to, though. But I feel like it's a little different from you saying, hey, Slim can go sign some autographs and make some bread off of it, versus you saying, I'm going to pay Mikey $7 million to come to Central Florida. You know what I mean? Nothing against neither one of those names. I'm just using it as an example.
And I say cap it because I don't want to say these kids not worth it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I seen a clip earlier about this, and it's funny we talk about this, but the guy made a good point, and he was like, think about athletes. I think it was on the Pivot. He was talking about Tim Tebow.
I got you.
And he was like, Tim Tebow was like the man in Florida, but he didn't do it at the NFL level.
Yeah.
And like for players like that are very good college players and bring in, they should see it because.
And I like the college concept to it. I'm not as mad at specifically college. I would say I think that especially inside the North Carolina area, we're inside the Charlotte area. There's a space where we probably have like a bad taste in our mouth because we've seen, I guess what you would call like an NIL crash out.
Yeah.
From like a highly touted person coming into a state, and you could see whatever version you want to say. And I won't name the name just so we can kind of keep it as.
Yeah, for sure.
But you could see them be complicit and them go from number 1, 5, 35 unranked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All in a matter of like 3 years. But you could tell that there was a whole other lifestyle that became accustomed to this high school kid.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a thing that it's easy to see be able to come and influence a lot of kids where back when we was growing up, kids quit basketball off a little drug money.
Mm-hmm.
They was able to sell a little weed, a little something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In comparison to now, you can get actual legit 1040 money. And at that moment, it's the most money that you ever had.
Yeah.
Let's just give like a hypothetical, like a kid that, let's say hypothetically is living in Section 8, and you can get a $10,000 NIL from Bojangles or something like that. One, that changed your whole living situation, the whole scenario. Sure. Well, I ain't gonna get into the socioeconomic politics of it, but nonetheless, like that to that person, as long as you can keep it off the books.
Oh yeah,
like
sure.
That could be amazing for them and like their family. But then imagine if they're getting that monthly.
Oh yeah,
and imagine when they become used to that. And like, is it still the will to work? For some people, there will be the will to work.
If I say the two-sided thing of it, the motivation,
they'll be like, oh,
the complacency.
Like I can see how like right now that's got me, my little brother, and all of them out of this situation. But then there's that kid that, especially if you got enough things already put in place and you're not specifically struggling,
you might.
Well, you be like, oh dang, I
might go get a pack, a big pack.
How Shador do? Start doing this.
Yeah.
Like show that little nugget over there. You know what I mean?
Play my song after I score type thing.
Right. And like to think that the ego is past high school kids is crazy.
Yeah.
I think that we've all been there to understand, like when you get up a little bit, you feel yourself in high school. You almost feel like your shit don't stink. And like I would be most scared of that, especially without proper financial literacy. And that's what I think that Rashad probably was really good at.
Yeah.
I love especially in college, the financial literacy piece of it. But even more so, I guess it'd probably be necessary at high school if you're going to divvy out the money.
Well, I think Dade County is one of the schools in Florida that actually have a financial literacy course that you got to take to graduate high school.
I love that.
So, I mean, I feel like that should be implemented across the board.
Yeah,
you know
Common Core, that should be a part of it.
I mean, really, we're getting to the point now. I know this is typing on a whole different, not necessarily a different subject though, but just the student aspect of an academic is we're getting to a point where we're not necessarily forcing kids to go to college. We're getting back to the old school of like, go get a trade, bro. Go get that trade. You know what I mean? To where now you're teaching that kid who's coming out of high school who may start you got kids right now. The kid at school with our kids, he got his own clothing brand.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about a financial literacy course that's teaching this young man to really how to market his brand, get out there to when he graduates, he's signing with, either a celebrity or somebody that's going to really market his brand because he understands that purpose of it and how to get that done. So I feel like it should be something that we implement in all schools because it's not just about our athletes. We got kids that are really entrepreneurs making. Shoot, his son is selling beats right now, bro. Like, think about if he's taking a class that's helping him learn how to manage to even do that on a whole different level. You know what I mean? So that's something that we as parents, coaches, trainers should be shooting for at these superintendent meetings that we don't never go to, which is sad. But we should be going and saying, "Yo, why are we not teaching these kids financial literacy?" You know, especially when we're giving them all this money going forward for our student athletes, NIL deals, to where they get to college, they're aware of what's going on. Now you're feeding into college where, like they saying, NCAA is like, hey, bro, we're going to treat you as such. You want to get paid? Now we're going to treat you like an employee.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, now I got all the power back again. Y'all had the power for 2 years to make that money transfer where you want to transfer to get the bag. Now I'm going to get back to we taking control of it. Now I'm going to sign you on a semester by semester basis.
Yeah.
That's the rough part of it. I think that we kind of hit on it a little bit, but do y'all want to expand on feelings about NIL when it comes down to college and college kids getting the bag? Thoughts?
Yeah. I'll tell you what I said. You know, I think it should be a cap.
Yeah, I feel like it should be a cap, but I also feel like, I mean, one thing you can't take away from is those individual sports. And everything's under one umbrella, so you have to treat everything as such. Like if I'm playing golf, I'm playing tennis, certain sports like that, equestrian, you have that nowadays in college and certain sports. They deserve to get paid as they are. You talking about some of these kids are pros already at 16, 17, 18, 19.
Right.
They get to compete on pro circuits and certain things.
Right.
So looking at it from that aspect, I get it, but I do feel like it should be a cap. Like we should not be paying an incoming freshman $10 million.
Right.
I mean, I'm
shout out Archie Manning. Ain't that his name? What's Manning boy?
I mean, but he has a marketable name.
He do, and
he pulled the best deal ever though.
But not playing.
Why everybody said they signed off on their image and likeness for the college game. He said, you know what? Sign me to market the game. That's what he signed. He signed the contract to market the game.
But that's what happened when your father was an NFL coach. No, your granddad. Your granddad was and both of your uncles.
Got two uncles, yeah.
Like you got the Manning name.
And you got the Manning name. It's the lineage there for him.
Oh, is there any reforms that y'all would like to see in inside the NIL concept? It sounds like y'all are
in the total agreement with the cap and
like
and the financial literacy as well.
Financial literacy, possibly putting the cap on it. I think right now, do you think that it'd be a fair concept to make NIL team based in comparison to like all the players get some of the NIL money, where it becomes like divvied down? I've heard that as like a concept.
Well, some teams have that, like some of the mid-major teams I've seen where a company has signed the whole team. We talk about walk-ons and everything. So it may be as little as $1,500 a month. But, the whole team is signed to a deal, So those are great concepts as well, especially when talking about a team that may not have the name, but they may be the it for where they are.
And the thing is that sometimes we forget in college with Wayne, you ever had that refund check?
Oh, bro.
Like as a college kid, what you could do with $1,500?
What?
Good.
What?
Now, imagine that a month too. A refund check a month.
So I was a product of the refund check, the scholarship refund check. So I got the financial and you get the envelopes. The envelopes is that was NIL before NIL.
Oh, this is
you play a good game. You get that envelope, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about D2.
Yeah.
I ain't even played D1 now. I played D2 and got a... And
this is before the parlays.
Yeah, it's way before parlays. You talking about you play a rival game, you win that rival game, but you going out that night. We going to Charlotte. We going to Greensboro. We about to go show out in VIP,
And Q, don't bring up parlays because that's nice. I don't even want to get started with that. I need to check my parlay.
I'm just gonna wake up in the morning. I want to see green. I just want to see green in the morning. If I see green, I did good.
Yeah.
I guess at a later time, as we speak about parlays, I do think that the concept of talking about just sports in general and the introduction of money, I think that that's interesting. Sports betting now becoming like a big thing as you see parlays. We talking about parlays and how that could, again, my Facebook, if I scroll long enough, I'm guaranteed to see somebody on one of these couches or chairs talking about Vegas is throwing the game because of my parlay.
Yep. Bro, Vegas threw the game for me on Thanksgiving. For real, bro. Look, I hit all green. I needed CD Lamb to get 40-plus yards. Bro had 39.
And they took him out
the game. His shoulder was hurt. Sideline with no helmet on.
Camera on him.
Bro, like, Vegas called in and said, hey, take him out the game, bro. They about to hit. They had to. There's no way everything else hit. And
but
then
him. And he was looking stupid. They put the camera on him. He looking like, why ain't I playing?
And then my cousin is like, hey, bro, he gonna get it. It's like, nah, bro. He got his helmet off.
Chalk it up.
Chalk it up.
Throw the phone.
Bro, chalk it up to the game.
I throw my phone at the couch so I don't break it. I don't throw it on the ground. I just throw it.
It's like throwing the controller when you're playing the game. Throwing the couch real hard.
Yeah. Shout out to all the parlay killers. I told him I was going to touch on that. Parlay killers, man. Stop. Man, let us win a couple nights, man.
All right, so Grant Williams is gone. Who is your top 3, the top 5 parlay killers?
Parlay killers?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Miles Turner. I say F you with a capital F.
Brooke Lopez don't want to get no 4 rebounds. You 7 feet tall and want to shoot number threes and no rebounds.
Oh, right now, parlay killers, Trey Young. I had him at least getting a dub. He got like 8 points.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I'm about to say he leading the league in assists right now.
Yeah,
he's almost missing 20.
He's legit on assists.
I went with his
Trey be trying to pull a little bit more out of him. You got to get what they get.
Yeah.
You got to get what they get. Good.
Sometimes I do that. But I said they playing Charlotte.
See, there you go.
And I'm like,
he gonna go ham, right?
Yeah.
But what's crazy is that Atlanta beat Cleveland back to back.
Yeah.
That was an interesting little thing to me.
Yeah,
they rookie playing pretty good though. I can't pronounce his name.
Reshashak. I don't know how to say.
So he going now because he started out slow,
which is cool. But I mean, I want to say he's had 30-point, few 30-point games, couple of 20 plus, and just good balanced games though.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is a parlay? Rudy Gobert is a parlay killer for sure.
Yeah. Zach LaVine and Jimmy Butler.
And Kyrie can be one every
once in a while. Kyrie is a big time parlay.
Because you want to get Kyrie for the plus 20, especially with
Luka
there now.
He
get 18.
Yep. 18.5. How do you score that? Like, come on, man. Shout out to the parlay killers.
Shout out to the parlay killers. We love y'all though.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna keep picking you though, because
me too. You're gonna come through one day.
You're gonna come through one day. I'm gonna hit 50,000 and I'm gonna shout you out.
I'm gonna lay it down. Yeah, I'm gonna shout you out too. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is something I meant to get to while we were on the college conversation, but we do have a hometown legend that exists in Durham right now.
With who?
With the Dookies.
Okay.
The Dookies.
With Ook.
Yeah.
You can have the D. Pause.
Shout out to that was a good
one. But nonetheless, again, over the past, if you've been in Charlotte for the past 3 years, you've heard the name. He came from probably one of the stronger programs in the city, which was North Mech, and he was a McDonald's All-American, highly touted. I'm gonna push play on this, and then I'll ask y'all a question.
Somebody please explain to me why Isaiah Evans is not getting any playing time for Duke, because it's not making any damn sense to me. I'm watching the game versus Kansas. I'm watching the game versus Arizona, and I almost forgot that Isaiah Evans was on the damn basketball team. I had to run to the computer and do some research because I'm a Googling nigga. I had to type in, is Isaiah Evans still with the basketball team? Did he have a speeding ticket? Did he disrespect the coach? Did he get arrested? Did he have a recruiting violation? Because there's no way you can tell me he can't find minutes on this Duke basketball team. It's no reason why he should have only played in 3 games this season, him and Darren Harris. And then I'm watching the game versus Kansas, and I'm watching a 3-point shooter that everybody was raving about, number 7, Khan, go 0-8 from 3. So from this point on, it better be some minutes going their way. And the reason why I want Isaiah Evans to succeed so bad is because you guys know I don't really care about prep school. I want these guys to stay at home and turn the damn city up. And that's exactly what Isaiah Evans did. He stayed at home, turned the city up. He is a true dog. He's a bucket. And I want to see him get rewarded. And I'm here to tell you, I believe that Duke has done just as much harm for players' career as it's done good. But I'm not here to cause any ruckus. I'm just speaking from my vantage point. Please, somebody explain to me what the hell is going on and why he's not getting the decent amount of playing time.
And I actually think that I could find a way to eventually segue us into our next topic. I'll play this one and then we'll start the conversation.
Could this be the new reality for highly touted high school prospects in the new world of NIL and the ever-changing landscape of college basketball? Duke just picked up their second loss of the season to Kansas last night, but we couldn't help but notice two guys on the bench whom we thought wouldn't be receiving reasonable minutes for the Blue Devils this season. College basketball fans may not be aware, but Isaiah Evans was a 5-star prospect from North Carolina, a pure scorer with great length and size, nicknamed Baby Ingram, while Darren Harris was a 4-star prospect who many predicted would see reasonable minutes due to his highly translatable game and impressive resume from his time with Team Takeover and Paul VI. However, this has not been the case for either player, as they've only seen limited action in 3 games, all of which were blowouts. So the question stands of, do you trust the process in these type of situations and wait for your time to shine? Or do you argue that these guys are too good to not be playing? Let us know in the comments.
But so I'll start with something that D-Rich said. He said Isaiah Evans turned the city up. Reaction to that, and we'll continue like down the line of the conversation, but we are a Charlotte-based podcast. He went to North Mech. Not this year, but the previous 3 years. Did he turn the city up?
He did the last year and the year before, because he started going that year before, wasn't it?
It was his junior and senior year was like crazy.
Yeah,
for sure. Talking about some of the best games ever played. Well, I ain't gonna say ever played, but some of the best game I've watched live, high school basketball, he was a part of. I mean, that 3 overtime game against Chambers at North Mech. I mean, you know,
was that in the playoffs?
That was in the playoffs. The game, I think Nick Dorn fouled out like in the second overtime.
But he hit the three at the buzzer. Was it almost half court to send it to overtime? He sent it to the second overtime with another big 3
on the right side.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just, and I felt like it's him, but it's also just the energy he brought to the game. He played to me like he carried himself like he played in the 90s, early 2000s. Like that's how if you're from Charlotte, old Independence West Charlotte game was, or old West Charlotte Garinger game, or you know those type of schools. Those games sold out, crazy players, crowd going crazy. Like anytime he played in those big games, it reminded me of that. You know what I mean? And that's when I say he turned the city up. I mean, of course, he had to have teams and players to play against, in which everybody wanted to see. But the energy he brought each game,
I loved it.
I loved it,
bro. Like, it was unmatched.
He delivered with talking
every single time.
I'll say this: I didn't get to see the games y'all seen because it was just so crazy. I didn't want to leave out. Like I'm like,
oh no, you had to have a connect on getting that ticket early.
Yeah. But the game,
you had to know somebody sneak you in the back door.
It was one of the two. One time I had to sneak in the back door. Shout out Coach Trey. The one that used to work in North Mech. But
shout out Vernon Maxwell. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. and if not that, it was like the early bird tickets. Or you had to find a way. Like it was fights.
And you had to be there by the JV game.
And I didn't want to do all that.
I got you.
But the game I did watch, they played against. I want to say they played Hopewell. It was it was last year, and it was just a regular game. It wasn't hyped up. And
it was at Hopewell, right?
Yeah.
That was a good game.
Yeah, Hopewell had Quay and that other guard last year.
And Derek and Quay.
Yeah.
But I mean, shout out to Goodson coach.
Yeah, Goodson.
Shout out to Goodson. And like you said, just the how he interacted with the student section. That's what I liked about him. Like he came down, he shot one, he airballed it, and they let him hit it. Airball. He came back the next play, hit it. He put the 3. He looking at him, talking to him. I'm he was talking to him the whole game. And
the thing about it is that, like, if you've been there, like he just has like to me, it's like almost like these memorable moments where I seen him inside like one of them big rivalry games. He came down and I think maybe hit like 2 back-to-back threes, and then he hit like a layup. And then he looked at the opposing coach and told him, "Hey, you better." And I'm like, "Damn,
yeah,
damn." Like,
but
it was this moment.
As a fan of the game, you love
it.
Yeah.
Hey, especially
I was on the other side, but it was Charlotte. Like, damn,
you done been around Charlotte basketball. You love that.
When you're a player telling the coach to call a timeout, that's cold.
That's cold.
That's cold.
That's
bro.
cold, bro.
And I wish I would have seen
and if you've been at that North gym, when you see him start doing this, it's like, okay.
They rolling with that North. I like I said, I was blessed to play in an environment like that, coming up, playing for Independence and playing against West Charlotte in the late 90s, early 2000s, to where, we was talking about it earlier, like, even your parents coming to the game, you got to tell them, hey, you got to get there by JV boys game, or we got to sneak you in the back door, because the game is going to sell out. And then the part about it, for a lot of people don't know, was we never played a home game against West Charlotte at Independence. Never. All our games against West Charlotte that were home was either Grady Cole or in Bojangles Coliseum. Now imagine selling out Grady Cole.
That's fine.
Yeah.
For a high school basketball game.
I don't see why they haven't moved that game to there yet either.
Yeah,
like it just deserves a bigger.
I think more so it boils down to the money that's being made by the school.
But when you make more money,
I mean, like I said, I don't know the specifics of it though, but it seems like it boils down to that. Because you think about like,
but in that
North knows they have the advantage at home, but knowing we can't get with so many in the gym.
But then I think
I thought I was about to pass out last time. Bro. I had to leave out that gym, go get a Gatorade. I told them, hey, let me step out for a second. It's a literal hot box in there, shoulder to shoulder, boy.
Yeah, for sure. What you about to say, bro?
No, I would say, but in the sense of that, like we even talking with the NIL, as big as Slim was to the city, you would think North Mac would get most of, because they coming to see him. Even though the other teams are good, Chambers is good. But
you know what?
People were coming to see.
That's something I want to look into, because I wonder, because I was wondering that back to when I was seeing even when Daniel was there, and I think Slim may have been a sophomore.
Yeah.
And that was the first time Chambers had beat North Mech in a long time. I think they beat them twice that year.
Yeah. I think they might have swept the year.
Even so, with them games, it was like, yo, why they don't move this game? Like, this game should be played at Grady Cole or Bojangles Coliseum, to where, like, even the Charlotte Hornets arena, like, you talk about, like, you go to other cities that has a high basketball,
because
basketball is that.
Everybody's going to go to the game. And that's why I'm saying, like, to me.
I mean, you put that game on a Saturday, a high school game on a Saturday, that thing going to sell out, bro.
Think about how, like you saying, the piggyback off what you're saying. Think about when Chris leaked.
I was there during that time, bro. Like, we played our games at Memorial Stadium.
What was that? Memorial Stadium.
We didn't have no home games. Once again, I say we never played West Charlotte. We never played any playoff games at home.
Packed.
We would sell out Memorial Stadium, bro.
Yeah, packed.
So, like, there's no way.
That's an
like
idea.
I said, it may be something with the venues now.
Yeah,
we don't know about.
Yeah, again, it's probably some version of red tape that we don't know about. But on its face, to me, I don't see how the athletic departments of both schools don't benefit tremendously
from that.
And the thing is that you can just do both of them, home and away, and then y'all can
in a neutral site and sell that thing out.
Yeah, sell it out
both times, because of
sell out.
Like you said, especially if you move it to a Friday. Especially a Saturday.
Move it to a Saturday.
Like, everybody
game?
Coming down too. Like, the game has built up that much. I remember the first time, like when I kind of tapped back into Charlotte hoops, was when Vernon Maxwell's oldest son, Tristan, he was at North, and they had Traden Williams. And, and I seen
that's when Jalen Withers was there.
Yeah, I was about to say Withers was there. Now was he gone?
Yeah, and I seen Trey and them play somewhere. Early in the year.
Yeah.
I just liked Trey.
Yeah.
Like but then he had the slim in him.
Oh yeah. He had his daddy in him.
Shit. I don't know his dad, but
Vernon Maxwell's his dad.
No, you talking about Tristan. I'm talking about Trey.
Oh, Trey. Oh, not Trey.
Traden Williams. That one.
He's one of them.
Yeah.
He's one of them. We're not gonna say, but he's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I can't remember where I seen him, but I was like, I like that.
Oh no, bro! I liked him.
Like,
for the first.
As many times I get my son just to go out in these games and watch that, I want him to go see him. And I looked at this guy. I was like, oh, Chambers is on the schedule. Oh, fuck it. We'll go see that.
Go see that game, yeah.
We pulled up, and mind you, he got out of school, and we just went up straight over there after that.
Yeah.
So it could have only been the JV or the girls game at most.
Yeah.
And sold out by then. Police outside, turning everybody away, parking lot full. And that's when I was like, oh, it's one of them.
It's one of them. Yeah.
It's one of them.
It's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And
so did you have them when you was in high school? So who was them two teams that was like that when you? Cause I know you came like.
Well,
you
my
like
high school, like what it ended up being is like the Battle of Allegheny, which is like Hardin and Philip O'Berry.
Okay.
Philip O'Berry, when I was there, I was the first graduating class of Philip O'Berry.
I got you. Okay.
And so then we ended up being like sophomores and freshmen, and then we built it from there.
Okay.
So we didn't get the chance to have a rivalry. That was kind of how it was.
So so when Vance and Butler were built, when Vance went to that conference, it automatically formed. They just because of the way where they pulled from the kids from.
Yeah.
So like now you're pulling some North Met kids to go to Vance. So it became a rivalry early just in that conference.
Right.
It didn't match the Independence West Charlotte type joint though, but it was like on the upcome. The next thing you know is like when they changed the conferences my senior year to where it was. So before the Southwestern 4A, it was West Charlotte, Independence, Garinger, Myers Park, Providence, South Meck, East Meck. Then it changed my senior year to it was Independence, West Charlotte, Vance, Hardin, Central Cabarrus, West Meck, North Meck. One more school. Hold on, I'm missing one more school.
Oh, Central Cabarrus was inside out.
Yep, they had a Cabarrus County school on both. So Northwest was in the Southwestern 4A, and they had Central Cabarrus inside the.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you've heard this, but you know that they're moving to 8A inside North Carolina next year.
8A.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that, like they're pretty much doing it like that.
The elite of the elite, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess it's going to be based off of like the biggest schools in the state and then kind of like move it all the way down.
Yeah.
I was talking to just a parent inside the stands at the last game I was at. And yeah, I was looking at it, I was like, oh, damn. Like we kind of like making that move inside North Carolina.
It needs to be made, you know what I mean? Like,
but it makes sense.
You really need to, there is no way that you're not playing certain schools.
And I would just,
you know what I mean? Like,
I would love to see Reedsville, like Deontay Neal play Chambers.
No,
but they too small though.
They
like,
are.
They're 2A right now.
It's 2A because
damn.
Yeah,
but Reedsville is one of them spots where like they football and basketball,
and track.
Yeah,
they like that for real.
Shout out to them.
It's the country, but it's a little town right outside the Greensboro.
Right outside of Greensboro.
Right. So I went to JUCO up there at Rockingham Community College. So that's where I got my intro to Reedsville, to where we live in the city of Reedsville, which Rockingham was maybe like 5 miles from there in the country. So we stayed in Reedsville. So you talking on a Friday night, you going to a football game, the whole town shuts down. You go to the basketball game during the season, the whole town shuts down for the basketball game. So like it's packed in there, bro. Like it's hot. Crazy environment for every game. I don't care if they playing Morrisville or Statesville or whoever. It was going down, bro. Like I was like,
so they couldn't switch. You know how college they jump in and out of conferences.
Well, nah, everything on your class is based on population. Yeah, everything ain't on your mind. Everything is based on population. So more than anything else, that's the reason why West Charlotte and Hardin are 3A.
Okay.
Their population is not the same as a Chambers, North Met, Independence, or anything like that right now. So, but competitively, they're still going to compete in a conference that is competitive like that, because
that's why it's like 3A.
There are no 3A conferences really close to Charlotte.
Yeah.
If you do
that's why West Charlotte. That's why West Charlotte always gets the automatic bid.
Yeah.
So no matter sadly, if they lose every game, not lose every game, but long because. They play in one of the most competitive conferences in the state, 4A. So your strength of schedule is higher than anyone in 3A just by nature, because you're playing all 4A schools. So football and basketball wise, you're going to make 3A playoffs because you had the best strength of schedule in 3A. So, but till they get their population back up, which they say is going to probably be another 2 or 3 years for West Charlotte, they're going to still stay 3A.
Yeah. So to redirect back to the question now, Isaiah Evans, should he be playing at Duke? Is there a conspiracy? Are they doing my boy wrong? Do we need to get in the weight room? Need to work on defense? I don't know. What do y'all think? It's been a really popular conversation. We talked about Cooper Flagg fumbling the ball in the clutch.
Yeah,
I didn't see Slim coughing chamber in the clutch multiple times.
Yeah,
high leverage games.
Yeah,
crowd on his back.
Yeah.
If it's one person I bet on in the clutch, listen. But what is y'all thoughts? Should he be playing more, or is he kind of like rightfully getting the minutes he deserves until he kind of works on a thing?
As a Dookie, I say yes, he should, because I'm not impressed with our guard play.
Okay,
Proctor is up and down. He played good the other night, but he's up and down, and Caleb Foster is up and down. So when you got those guys is up and down like that, we need more production. And sometimes Cooper, he be in a funk, and then he produces. So I would say give Isaiah Evans some more minutes and a chance to kind of give a spark, because we all know in college basketball that's what you need. A lot of times is you need that spark. And we know he got energy. When I seen him live at Duke, his shot looked good. Yeah. The only thing I would say he struggles with, and Shire is probably, emphasizing that, is just more of the defensive side. And he did look light, because one of the guards drove on him and hit him with that shoulder bump, and he did fly a little bit, but outside of that, he's a good player. And they played him more minutes the last game. I guess social media is kind of, on a rampage with it, and they seeing it. They seeing it, and he played more minutes, and he looked good.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is that every time they've played him, he's produced.
Yeah,
that is the thing about like him, and what makes it easy if you're a coach to play a player is that when if you are playing him and they produce.
What's the problem?
You can live with the, him not being fully a defensive guy right now, because he's not getting every shot. They're running through Flagg, they're running through Knippel, but the opportunities that he does get,
give me Evans over Knippel.
He's maximizing. So, I would say give him more minutes, because in the stretch, we're going to need him. If we seen what he could do here in the city, you're going to need him to clap them. When he clapped them hands like that, it's over with. Well, we need that.
I want to put it back on Shire. If there may be some deficiencies he may not, like right now, but you can't take away from the talent the kid is. The kid is very talented, man. I mean, he can play the game, has a very high IQ, high motor. He's very looks like he's a sponge. I mean, as far as you're teaching him things that he's gonna absorb and relay back on the court. My thing is find a lineup that works for him. You know what I mean? Like if we don't know, we're only speculating if it's the fact that it's the defensive thing, or maybe the position that, like we say, you are what you can guard. You know what I mean? So if I can't get him into 2, why not put him at the 3?
And I think that Zion James kid is where
you playing James right now at the 1 right now. Time. So my feel, if you're gonna go big, shit, let me put Slim at the 3.
Yeah.
Or if I'm gonna go small, if the issue is that, let him put him at the 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, let me form a way that he can have an advantage while he's on the court as well.
Yeah.
So it's almost like using your personnel and getting the best out of them for you and that team versus not even having anything going on right now. Because I feel like Slim's the type player that more than deserves to be on the court as far as talent wise.
I think he's caught in the crossfire of the upperclassmen, because you got the transfers, Knippel, the James kid.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really interfering. When you bring those guys over out of the portal, you feel, as coaches, sometimes I got to play them.
You feel obligated.
I got to play them. And I think that's what the big thing is. You done brought them kids. But me at this level, you are what you are in certain occasion. If they not doing nothing, bring Slim in and see what he could do.
Well, I think it kind of goes back to what the post was saying is let's trust the process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure everybody went into it with the mindset of, and not saying this can't happen because he can have a great remainder of the season though, but I think automatically it was Slim one and done.
Yeah.
You know, which is, it's okay to not be one and done.
Right.
It's okay to develop and be and kind of be brought along at pace. But I think right now, from us from Charlotte, it's like, hold on, bro. We used to saying, bro, play at a different, get in at a different pace. Like you holding them back, which Shire may have a plan for him that we don't foresee.
But see, and that's what I like. You said everybody else want to see the now.
Yeah,
I like the idea of letting him absorb it now, so we can see the North Mech him next year.
Oh yeah, or later on this year.
Yeah. You let him absorb it, and just like with again, it's a different sport. But Bryce Young, we drafted him and just threw him out there, and then we didn't get what we thought we was gonna get. But if you allow him to sit and just absorb the hostile environments, all that out,
playing pretty good.
Yeah, now you feed him in, and you gonna get the best version of him. So,
and like I said, we're all speculating right now as to why he may not be playing, just based on outside looking in, and it may just be that coach is trying to just gear him up to catch up to the speed of the game. You know what I mean? Like you say, they got transfers in that. In a sense, you're kind of obligated to play, especially if you've given them that bread.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It kind of goes back to our last topic now. If I done gave them the NIL 1.5, this to come over here, I gotta, get the best out of my investment now at this time. But who's to say that as I coach, I see that these kids are not panning out like I want to. Let me get back to my future.
Yeah. And what I don't want to happen, Wayne, is we lose him. I don't want him to go in the transfer portal and we didn't give him what he needed, and then he gone and he go crazy
and go crazy.
Go to Alabama,
and go
to Auburn or something like that, or go to Arkansas.
Slim, if you watching, please don't do that to my Dookie. Stay.
Hey, listen, it's 15 minutes right up the road. You could always transfer. We got solid NIL.
Yeah, you and Ian Jackson look good together next year.
Yeah, I could imagine it.
and
don't listen.
Yeah, just imagine.
No, Slim, don't listen.
Like it's only 15 minutes up the road. They call it Tobacco Road.
Tobacco Road.
Tar Heels. That. Let me see. Let me go to him. You see that? It's that one right over his shoulder. You see what I'm saying?
No, Slim, don't listen.
I think it'll look good on you.
No, Slim. You chose the right blue. You chose
one thing I would throw to Slim is stay 10 toes down, my brother.
Yeah.
You from the I know you 252 and all that. You I mean not 252, but I know you got the Fayetteville.
Yeah.
You fed Nam and all that, but you've been born and raised in the city as well though. So bro, stay 10 toes down, bro, because we behind you.
Yeah.
Regardless,
the city
even though I'm at your rival high school and your rival college, I'm all for you, my guy. Like I'm praying the best for you.
Yeah, we love Slim. Yeah.
I know what you can do. We've seen what you can do on a high level, and sky's the limits for you, my brother. You may know what's going on more than we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're watching, I know it can be. It can be damaging to the mental sometimes to not be out there when you feel like you should be out there.
Mm-hmm.
Stay 10 toes, my brother. Stay 10 toes, man, for real.
Yeah, for sure. What I said, like Slim just has a special spot in my heart for sure.
Just because
of the way that with him and Coach Trey, the way they both embrace QJ.
Oh no, for
where they used to come to his middle school games and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine being like a middle schooler.
And Slim there, the hottest kid in the city.
Slim coming there to, try and, whatever, recruit you to wherever. And like you playing in that guy. He just went crazy the night
before. He at your game.
And he's at the game.
Middle school game.
In which, they have their own little conversations and talk and different things like that. But for me as a dad, I think that to me, there's no way that I can root against him. Again, I'm a diehard UNC fan. But because of that, right now, I'm still not voting. I can't root for Duke because y'all ain't even playing them. But if there was a time that I would have been rooting a little bit, at least for the success of a Duke player, it'd definitely be him.
Mm-hmm.
And Caleb Foster, because I remember Caleb. I played against Caleb when I had my 12U team. He's playing with Bishop, GC Ballers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I met Caleb, Jordan Marsh, what's Jeremy Gregory.
Yeah, but I said that team had some players.
Yeah, they had some players on it. You know what I mean? So just even watching them come up and matriculate from Caleb from then to now, and even Slim from, being on NC Best to, doing a little stint with Team United to figuring his own path out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
TSF,
yo, bro, you stick to it, man. It's going to work out for you. It's going to work out. We rooting for you down here in the city, bro.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's the perfect segue to get us into a conversation about picking a program and what makes a good program in general, from the grassroots to a high school and college.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll toss the general conversation out. So if we just start at grassroots, what do you think picking a good program is, or what makes a good program, should I say?
There's a lot that goes into that. I mean, we're not, it's a lot, but it's not a lot.
Yeah. There's a fact.
You know what I mean? It's a lot, but it's not a lot. I mean,
because there's a spot where you can get into, shout out to Trey, a development over winning conversation.
Yep.
Right. And where those programs look completely different.
Yeah.
And especially how the circuit looks. And I guess like this is also a podcast that, as we start unpacking the layers, I think that there's going to be a lot of really good fruit that we can give to dads that are just coming into AAU basketball.
Yes, sir.
And like, I remember when I walked into AAU basketball and like having to, it was like, it should have came with a syllabus. How much stuff that you had to understand that had nothing to do with the actual game.
Yeah.
And
we started at a young age with that. And not to cut you off, but it's funny part, our kids played with Metchelon Havoc the first grade. And then we was during the summer, the season had ended, and we hungry. We were trying to get our boys into something. Then next thing I know, I called called Ken. I said, hey, bro, I think I got something for us. Got a little workout to come to, the Team United workout over at First Baptist. Luckily, he was still staying right down the street right now. He was in the hood still, so it was like, hey, that's nothing. Next thing you know, it kind of formed into what it formed into, though. But we looked at it as dads, where we leaned on each other. At the time, I had a little bit more insight to what was going on, had a little bit more connections with Coach Darius, Coach Bernard. You know what I mean? Because Darius had coached me when I was with the Charlotte Nets and everything. Shout out Coach Darius, shout out Coach Bernard. But we went through a point to where he was like, he's trying to build something. I want to build it around 3 kids you got. I got 3 kids. So he talking about he had Aaron, Tony, and Bryce. We had me, he had Zai, QJ, and Elijah Boyd. Then Nas came around. Next thing you know, we got a nice little squad going on. LaShine got added to the team. We had a nice little 7. You know what I mean? LJ was back and forth a little bit. His dad kind of helping out. But, the way we kind of stuck together as dads to kind of just build it, it was amazing. You know what I mean? And to allude to your point is this pod can be a good precursor or instruction guide to how to actually go about it, because what you're going to learn is the more and more you get into this and the further your kids gets older and they play in this game, you got to do what's best for your kid, not what's best for everybody else.
Yep. You hit it right on the head.
I want to say, like, this past year, me and Quintel made the same decision. We could have maybe took a route that wouldn't allow our kids to flourish the way they did, but we took a route that, first of all, they were wanted. Yeah. They were, congratulated, and they were loved on by a program that wanted them. You know what I mean? And it's hard to find that at this stage. It's talking about high school, 15U. It's hard to find where a program is literally invested into your kid, and they're on a level that they can put your kid out on the stage. You know what I mean? Shout out to what you do. That's why I throw kids your way. But also shout out to what organization like, EA Prep has done as well for kids around the city.
Right.
Nothing to, shout out to all the programs though, but I can only talk about, in this particular moment, how it benefited my child and how it benefited his child, so now we're talking from a dad's perspective.
Right.
It's easy to be from a coach and a training. Hey, yeah, coach, go with that program. Go with that program. From a dad, And this is my first time getting to be a dad.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't got to be a dad in the situation in a long time. I've been coach dad for a minute.
Let me I'm push the brakes on you.
Yeah, I got you.
That's the second. That's the next conversation.
Got you.
But I think that you were hinting all around it. Just that conversation and the content of what makes a good program. So even inside like those decisions that you made then, it was a reason behind it.
Yeah,
And that was
a
program fit your son. And shout out to Wayne for using the governments, man. I say, all right. But
hey, I ain't mean to, but it just came out that way. It just flowed out that way, though.
Right.
But hey,
we ain't talking crazy.
It meant what it needed to mean. You know
for sure.
It touched on that point, that's all.
Right.
But so saying that to you, I throw it back your way. To you, if we'll start at elementary, then middle, and then high school. At those stages, what do you think makes a good program, Grassroots?
Well, and so you're talking about youth, elementary, you're talking about, getting your kid involved around that 7 through 8, 9 range. You want a program that's going to focus a lot on the skill and development and teaching your kid how to play the game the right way and not chasing wins. At that stage right there, of course, you want to see the wins for your kids' morale, but the main thing you want to see is the development and the structure and the IQ for the game grow more than anything else. And you get to that 6th through 8th grade level. Right there now, I'm trying to start seeing the implementation of what has been taught from a young age to now is forming to concepts, understanding the game from how to play the game the right way, at what speed, understanding what defenses are out there. Now you're talking to a point guard, like, tell me what you see, versus where, they 2nd through 5th grade, I'm going to tell you what I see, you run this. Now 6th through 8th, you're like, yo, what do you see? So a program that is building the kid to understand the game from all aspects, from defensively, offensively, transition, even understanding what the coaches need, to where you get to high school where you're looking for a program that's going to literally invest into your kid. That invests in skill development still at that point, because even so, we get to that point, kids are elite. They can do many different things. Are we still building to that aspect that we're helping them get to the next level? So are we setting them up for success on the college level? You know what I mean? So everything has to be about investing into the kids itself, helping them be the best version of themselves, but also, as they gravitate and grow and mature, they learn how to win, what it takes to win, and how to play together to get to the ultimate goal. I feel like a program that implements those things throughout those 3 stages of their careers, the program that you should look forward to for your child. And it may not be the same program on each level.
Yeah.
I think that's what needs to be stated and understood more than anything, that what I need for my kid from 2nd through 5th grade from one organization may be going with Trevor, and going with Trey, Coach T. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm sending them over. Hey, bro, I'm sending them over to you.
Yeah. Now I say this, Wayne, and I'm gonna jump in right there because that's a good place to park it right there.
Yes, sir.
I ain't cutting you off, but like you was trying to do that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you talk about picking the right program, right? You said it. I feel like a program that I had, you need, because I was trying to do exactly that. Focus on the kids' development.
Yes, sir.
I don't care how we look. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna get a head kicked in. We're gonna win. All my kids, 3 years that I ran, we got better.
Yeah.
And then if the kid was on track to where I could say, "Hey, Wayne, I got a kid that can help you.
That can help me
at your level. At your level, because you playing." But this kid right here,
on this and that.
He got a high motor. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's supposed to be, guys. We're not supposed to be out here hating on what the next guy's doing. And I applaud you, Wayne, because towards the end, you was trying to do that. You was like, yo, we ain't going to be able to keep all these. I got something for you. I know what you do. You focus on that.
And I'm focused on that kid too, because I know what that kid needs at the moments to be better.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like we say, we get to a point of understanding that, you know, each program serves a purpose at each stage of life.
Yep.
You know, for me, I had my kids. I had 4 of my kids from the duration from 2nd grade up through 8th grade, in a sense. And we with us, we set goals.
Yeah.
I'm building your kid from 2nd through 6th to make your middle school team as a 7th grader and be that guy or play a lot of minutes.
Play a lot of minutes, yeah.
8th grade, you're gonna be that dude.
Yep.
9th grade, if the genetics done kicked in, you may make varsity and be a piece on varsity. But if not, you're gonna be that dude on JV. In 10th grade, you're gonna be where you are.
Right.
So like literally, if we look back at all those kids, for the most part, we done checked a lot of them boxes for the kids.
Man, look, I get chill bumps being on the sideline because I see a lot of kids that it was like, okay, like you played a part in that and you did your part.
Yes, sir.
See, where guys get it mixed up too with this is they want to do everything. And when you find in the right program, you got to have a guy that specializes at this, the foundational level.
Yeah.
Then at your level, you were playing at a high level, your kid get better and he can survive in this water with the Sharks. He played here with Wayne. And then you got another level, guys. So when you're looking for that program, if your kid ain't good, you find a guy like me, the Halo Elite. You get, and I don't mind training little Johnny and doing what I could do with him because I'm needed. But then if little Johnny ends up being 6'8" Johnny in the 7th grade and now he got a drop step and I'm like, Wayne, you need a big.
Yes, sir.
Here you go.
Swing it my way.
Yeah. So, you know, when it comes to this program stuff, man, pick your program on based off of where your kid is. Don't try to put your kid with that Made Hoops program or Adidas Grassroots program, and he ain't a grassroots kid. You get what I'm saying? Like you bring him to me, a guy like me, and you let him coast and get to that level. To where
be realistic.
Yeah,
that's the term I would say more than anything is be realistic. You know what I mean? Like understand where y'all are, and I say y'all, I mean like as a family, because it's a family decision, especially when you're younger, to where you're gonna go. You know where you are. Yeah, and it's okay. Right. It's okay to not be on that level. It's okay to be, because it's a marathon.
Right.
It's not a sprint. And if y'all know me, I've been preaching this since forever. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So if you're looking for a program, you're looking for the things that you want to see, the development more than anything else. You want to see that it's not a sprint. We're not going to sprint somewhere to go play here because we're chasing this. You want to find a program that meets your kid. And more than anything, you want to find a program that communicates with you.
Yeah, right. So and let you know what's going on. You don't want a program that's gonna basically, money grab and allow your kids not develop. Nah, find a program that's gonna communicate and be like, hey, parent. Right now, little Johnny ain't, he's not breaking the way he should be. Maybe we should work on this, work on that. Maybe if you're not the type of person that can do it, here's a person I know that can help out. We have a trainer in-house. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I send it to this person. Or, just work with him on these basic concepts. So you want a program that's going to do that more than anything else, because we've seen kids just hang around.
Yeah,
they parents are paying for friends,
and it's
they paying for. Well, yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Right,
they paying for friends.
They're paying for the kid that's good.
They paying to be around.
They paying for friends and they paying for the program.
Yeah.
You paying to send the other kid to Vegas.
That kid,
right.
That kid that's on scholarship,
right?
Yes, sir.
On scholarship for.
Yeah. So I mean, and then so that's what you gotta be looking at more than anything else, because it's. From what I came up in Charlotte, it was only 3 teams. You didn't make one of those 3 teams, you played rec ball or church league that summer.
Yeah.
And you got your game right. And you came back, you played school ball, and you tried again.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's
slap your mama elite, cross you over elite.
All that.
All that.
If your kid don't make it, me and this other kid daggone former team, and we're going to start this team, and we're going to pull his best friend from
I'm pushing the brakes on Coach Wayne again. He trying to hop over to that other topic.
Over there. Yeah,
he trying.
I ain't meaning to though, but I'm about to get there. Feeder. It's like
good.
Yeah.
But sum up what you're saying, a good program, it should be focused on developing the kid. Mm-hmm. And then if the kid is on the level to be where he should be at, he'll play where he'll go to the trial and he'll make the team.
Oh, yeah,
but picking a program, if they're not talking about playing a lot of games and some sort of type of developing your kid, you shouldn't be going to that program. Shout out to a couple of them like Battle Bucket, B4L. I always see them in the gym. I think they Concord based. They always playing, and that's how the kids get
D1
better.
Academy.
Yep. D1 Academy. They always playing. Shout out to Mac. He coaching like 10 teams. Like
they keep the kids in the gym. Though.
He keeps the kids in the gym. They playing the right way. They playing real basketball. And look for those programs that's doing that, guys.
Yeah. I guess if I was to add anything, I think that it's important to think about where your kid is at specific places of development.
Yeah.
And that's like over chasing like the name brand of like a team title.
Mm-hmm.
And like there are some kids who at 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade are ready to play for like that team.
Yeah.
And you see them all the way through the grassroots, through high school, XYZ, through them. But then there's also kids in which you don't want to be the kid that's in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade that is sitting on the bench, especially deep bench.
Yeah.
Because of the reality is that we all know the game experience is what matters the most.
Yes, sir.
Like the rings really don't matter. None of those things matter. So if you're on an elite like team, it should be because now you're playing and then you're playing against elite competition. But if you're on an elite team and you're not playing and they're playing elite competition and you're only getting inside like garbage minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
That's not actual real development, especially if we go inside like 2025 where teams don't even really be practicing on the elite level more than once every 2 weeks almost, it seems like now.
They just meeting.
They'll boot camp it for maybe like 4 days straight for a tournament. But as far as consistency, and also just to piggyback off that, pick a team. Well, pick an organization that's not putting 15 players on a team. Like at the most in AAU, travel basketball or summer basketball, spring ball, it should be no more than maybe 8 to 9.
Yeah.
10 so you can practice.
That's what I was gonna say. At least 10.
11
so you can,
because that kid somebody parent may not show up that weekend or something like that. But for the most part, you shouldn't be carrying no more than about 10 to 11 kids on a team, especially I say 3rd through 6th grade. Yeah, about 3rd through 6th grade. It shouldn't be no more than about 10 kids. Now, as you get elite on a high school team, honestly, just give me 10 to practice because 2 of them not going to play in the game.
Yeah.
And not to be funny, though, but that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's
short rotation.
Now, I mean, what those 9th and 10th player bring is they're practicing every day. And then hopefully they get to a point to where I can get 10 deep. That's what you hope as a program and as a parent. You're seeking out a program that if my kid is that 9th or 10th kid, they're practicing every day, they're developing, and then they're actually getting a chance to contribute as the season goes on, as they grow. But don't find a program with your kid, the 12th, 13th, 14th player, because that ain't gonna change from April to June.
And I guess something, and I imagine that as we continue, there's so many different like lessons from the grassroots that we can probably give. But something that I have seen as like going through it, that I've seen as almost like a marker of success has been even once the kid develops, it's not as important to immediately put him on like a top tier team.
Oh, no.
And where like you end up seeing a lot of kids who develop early, stayed inside a spot where, and this is almost like a Gilbert Arenas theory.
Yeah.
Where like intentionally he keeps his son at like a lower tier school where he has to pull so much more weight because he doesn't quote unquote want him to become like a role player of senses.
Yeah.
Where you have like these put together teams.
Yeah.
Like IMG, no knock to any private schools or IMG shit. That's a great school. But when you put together five stars, you always only see everybody
sacrificing.
Well, everybody averaging like 10 or 12.
Yeah.
That's what you kind of see, where that's good that you learn to play with people, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you understand how to like going back to what Trey said, like understand how to actually win.
Yeah.
And be relied on to win. So I think that that's another really, really important thing. Just being able to, like, depending on your kid's development, when the right time is to make that leap to the circuit in comparison to where that development, whether it's elementary or middle school, you see a lot of kids that quote unquote come out of nowhere, and they're like comprising a lot of circuit teams, but these are kids that through either intention or through circumstance, they was kind of like hitting over here, playing with this team that y'all might have beat by 30, 40.
Yeah.
But that kid right there was getting their lumps during that time to where they hit that growth spurt. They might have like gotten the gym a little bit.
Yeah.
And that made a really big difference. So I would say like understanding the seasons for which each team makes sense, especially for your kid, would be like really, really, really important.
Yeah.
No, you're right about that, bro. I think we all in agreement on that one. For sure.
All right. So nonetheless, we'll move it along to the hot topic of the night. So we got 3 coaches here. I think that all 3 of us as coaches, we've probably coached our son at some frame of time throughout their basketball journey.
Yeah.
I think that there is a bunch of different circumstances that brings a dad to coach their son. I imagine there's negatives, there's positives to coaching your son.
Yeah.
I'll ask the first question. If you could do it all over, would you coach your son?
Hell yeah. And I'm not going to even sugarcoat it or hold it. Nah. I mean, now one thing I will say, the perception of when I started coaching my son is not so. 2nd grade, I was not the head coach. Coach Lord was the head coach. 3rd grade, I was not the head coach. Coach Darius was the head coach. I didn't take over till 4th grade. So even taking over then, it was more so like I understand, and it wasn't even about my son at the time. It was actually about the kids that I had. And I understood what they were projecting to and what I can help them get to. Now, as a dad, it was more so like, I feel like I'm the best one to get my son to where he needs to get to, at least to get to middle school. Because my whole goal was just get him to middle school and take the hands off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get him to where he can get to a coach that has a system and everything like that. He can get to that system and he's good to go. So my whole thing was preparation, IQ, development, skill to get to a point to where a coach, you in practice and the coach say, all right, I need you to get to the line. I need you to get to the midline. Okay, coach, for sure. I need you to deny the pass, for sure. I'm in the gap, for sure. You know what I mean? It was more so knowing that I just want to prepare my son the way I was prepared, even though it wasn't by my dad, but it was by a great coach. I just want him to get that same type of background that I had that led to me and other players I grew up with being successful in the game. So it wasn't necessarily about just me as a dad, but just so happened I was his dad and I had played the game at a high level and I had been coached at a high level that I knew I could provide what was needed, not only for my son, but for the kids around him to be successful.
Yeah.
You know,
I say you did a good job at it. You know, I've looked at a lot of dad coaches, and some of them shouldn't coach their son. Yeah, and you see it. And
we done been in many games and seen that dad literally about chastise or beat up his son in the middle of a game. Because he didn't, you know, it's like, bro, it's not that serious.
Yeah, like I would say you did a good job at coaching Zion. if I was asked that question, yeah, I would coach Tony again.
Yeah.
And people that know me know I didn't daddy ball. I didn't, you rarely knew he was my son till you watched us leave and you be like, oh, that was your son? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me and my son, actually, we had this thing to where anytime we were around the team, he never called me dad.
Yeah.
I never called him son.
Yeah.
He was I'm coach.
Yeah.
That's 5. That's White.
Yeah.
There's Zai. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we kept that dynamic for a long time now. It took for him to tell me one day, we were in Tennessee, 4th grade, Q. And we had played 2 games that day. We had lost the first 2 games in Tennessee.
I might have went to that tournament.
You might have.
Yeah.
We were watching film. You came to the hotel, was watching film. Before you got there, though, he ain't played good. I say, what's going on, bro? He said, man, you put too much pressure on me.
Mm-hmm.
From that point on, I figured out our dynamic.
And that happened with me.
You figured that dynamic
when I
out,
first started, I held him to accountable.
Yeah.
And I remember I tell people, anybody I've talked to about this, it was one game in particular, we lost the game and a guy was watching. You could tell he liked being around basketball. He was an older guy. And he came up to me and he said, man, you do a good job with those boys, man. Being a coach coached, you do a good job. I could tell you care about their development. He said, number 11, your son, ain't it? And I was like, I said, yeah. He said, yeah. I said, why? How you know? He said, you hold him to accountable.
Yeah.
And me and my wife had already got into it about him. And she would say, oh, he shuts down. You don't see it. You think you helping him, you hurting him. I ain't want to hear that. I just wanted him to be fearless.
Yeah.
But because I didn't have it and I wanted him to look, I missed it. I want you to be able to make it and perform and do it. And that dude told me that. And I was like, he said, this is how you get your son to listen to you. He said, coach everybody else. Don't even look at him. When you call your timeout, you do it. He said, don't say nothing to him. Talk to every kid around him and watch how bright-eyed he be. And I be like, it worked. Like, so from that, like you said, you had that moment where your son told you.
He told me, he was like,
an older guy, elder told me, and he was like, do this. And I was able to coach him after that.
Now, I feel like that's one of the best conversations I ever had with my son.
Yeah. Yeah.
To foster that environment to where he was able to grow and I grew as a coach, he grew as a player.
Yeah.
And what I noticed was I did put a lot of problem. I remember during the game, I was like, give me something, White. Goddamn, you not. And didn't realize what I was doing. I felt like I was doing the same thing I was doing to every other player. But the way he took it in that moment was dad was talking.
You dad.
He didn't take it as coach was talking.
We don't never sit and look at, they want to be perfect in our eyes.
Yeah.
That they don't want to be wrong. If you have a debate with your son at home, we all know after they done hit that little puberty stage and they got a mind of them, they never want to be wrong.
Nah, you're right.
They want to be right. They want to be perfect in your sight.
Yeah.
So when you add that extra pressure, I tell dads now, don't say nothing to him. I got him.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing.
That was our dynamic.
Yeah. Don't say nothing.
I said, you talk to Zai, I talk to Q.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the time it was like, they heard daddy.
Yep. That's all they gonna hear.
And we're saying the same thing.
But you got this small percentage of the ones where you can see what a dad is and they respond. But this percentage is this small.
But what I put in though that helped us out was a 24-hour rule.
Yeah.
The 24-hour rule was I could not say nothing negative about the game itself within 24 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after the game, we would talk about all positives. I don't care if his only positives was setting a good screen, taking a charge, and diving on the floor.
Yeah.
We talk, bro. You dove on the floor real good, bro.
Yeah.
You took that charge. That was a hell of a one.
You better than me. I pointed out all the negatives. but
no, I'm about to say that's probably like you want to talk about like mental strength and toughness.
Man, look,
that motherfucker right there. You just said as a dad, that's the hardest.
Look,
but that's not even being a coach. That's just in general.
Yeah.
But I know that I've been trying to be more intentional about that for sure.
But when I put that in though, it made him take the game so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then it was like, I can come to my dad to talk about the game now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because before night, we understand the pressure they get from the other parent at times.
Oh, yeah.
Or can get from other parents. So as the dads, we have to make sure now we're that stability. I can come and talk to you about my mistakes, my miscues, my everything. So that's actually what opened that door, was making that 24-hour rule to where, like, now after the game, it's like, I played bad. Nah, bro. You boxed out 3 times right there. I seen you box at the big, bro. You tipped that thing out.
Man,
like,
hey, look,
you made that extra pass, my boy. You get that tip ball.
I might have to steal that because, man, last year I went to after the game and he didn't play good. And I just told him, I said, look, bro, I'm going to talk to you how your fellow mates talk to you. You cheeks, bro.
Nah, you can't do this.
No, I know, but that's what I did.
No, I get
him.
what you were coming from.
And then when he put his head down, I said, why can't I talk to you like your homeboys? Why can't I? Why you take it so bad? Like, I'm asking. I'm like, but I know, but I'm just asking.
You want to see if he gonna?
Yeah, I want to see if he go. Yeah.
So you're triggering that communication.
Yeah,
and I get that point too. Like, so, and that comes from actually knowing your child too.
Yeah, right.
So I knew
he's not a vocal enough.
I knew it worked for me and my child.
Yeah, right.
You know, it works for you and your child versus him. So for me and my child was more so he's a talker. He's gonna talk about it. But so what I want you to do is focus on positive first. We'll talk about negative when the emotion is calmed down.
Yeah.
And then we talk about how to fix the negative.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, it may be I missed a couple of shots, or I didn't shoot well off the dribble. Or why is that?
Right.
But that's the next day though.
Oh, see, well, I changed my delivery. So I'm good on that, but I might need to try it. But my you cheeks was like, man, nigga, you cheeks. Instead of saying, nigga, you cheeks, and going crazy.
You gotta give a positive reinforcement sandwich.
Right.
So say something positive first.
Right.
Hey, bro, I seen you playing hard on defense. Ref called you for a bum ass foul. You may
yeah.
But if you would have cut the middle off and you wouldn't have got that foul. Yeah. But on the backside, I did see you you boxed out like I don't know what. You took that charge. You would communicate to your teammates. So now it's like, you leave off that conversation, it's like, you right there, you know what I mean? Versus him leaving up that conversation with a negative thought in his mind, like, man, my dad talking shit about me, bro. He don't understand it from my perspective.
But look, I will say he took the you cheeks calm better than if I would have spazzed out though.
Oh no.
So when I said
you get to that point to when you can literally start talking to them like this.
He took it like a couple years ago, he would have really been like that. He would have been walking around the crib, not eating. That's the moment now. Yeah, but he took it more well than I would have expected. I just the delivery, I worked on that.
Nah, I dig it. Y'all went in a couple different places. I'll answer the first part first. I'm gonna go opposite of y'all.
You gonna say no? You want to coach your kid again if you had a chance?
If I could. And the funny thing is that, like, probably since like 5th grade, you probably heard me say out loud that, like, next year I'm not trying to coach him. And like that's been an intentional thing, but like scenarios and circumstances have made sense. Like when I left grind, I really wasn't trying to coach him again. Walking First Baptist, he's like, "Hey Q,
I need you, bro. We back, nigga."
And I'm like,
"We back, nigga. Let's go." We started this shit. Let's go, nigga.
Right. So
get the trio back together. Let's go, nigga.
Like again, like my stints with like EA prep and like I didn't want to. I just was trying to go over there, and then like with 8th grade. It just can't.
You fell into 8th grade,
and then last year it just like got all right. I guess like I personally really wanted to just kind of like chill. I think that for me, if I could redo it again, maybe like early on, like elementary school.
You keep them early on years.
Maybe
3rd, 4th, 5th, 3rd and 4th grade.
Yeah, because I think that so much of that is like you can hone in on like very specific fundamentals and different things like that. But I think that as I think of all three of us as coaches, there is a space where it becomes a really hard balance
Yeah.
with you and your kid. And it's not only just with like if your kid's succeeding and not succeeding, but I also think that there's a space where we can hold our kid back because of you don't want it to look like daddy ball. You don't want it to look like, like a bunch of these different things. Like you're trying to make sure that you are as fair as possible with your kid and the perception of everybody else and how like anything can be perceived. And I think that ends up being like its own like interesting little dynamic to have to balance out because of if you're a good coach, you can't make it about your kid.
Yeah.
It's all like your kid has to be 6'8" and like the most amazing thing walking. If it's like two degrees of separation, you can't because of what comes with that. Everybody's going to say this daddy ball, this, that, and the third, where sometimes I think that an objective eye, it can be whatever it is. And I think that like that's its own little balance that I think that when being able to step away at whatever age, you kind of get
you said something, just noticing when to step away. The guys need to know that. You can start with them, but I'm at a point now where I don't want to coach them no more.
I got
you get what I'm saying? Like I started and I feel
when was the last
like
time you coached?
It's probably been a couple seasons because
about 8th grade, 7th grade.
Yeah, because I got to that point where it's like, you want to know what? When he went and played with Accelerate, it was like, I got to see the fruits you put in. To me, he played at his highest, and I didn't want to be coach no more. I just wanted it, like you said, I want to just see it now.
Yeah.
So,
and then I think that there's also a spot where as dads, it's like it's a gift and a curse. Where like if you know the game a lot, like it's so hard not to be like, that shit is wrong. What y'all doing is wrong.
Right.
But then there's this other part where I think that I could imagine the kid could really, really appreciate where you're just selfish with them. And like you're rooting for them and their success and everything that comes with all of those different things. Outside of like the guise of also having to blend that in within like a team concept, if that makes sense.
No, I got you.
Where there's a space where as a coach, especially if you're a really good coach, you can't be selfish with your kid. Like, of course, you can put in the hours that you want with them. You can do all these other things. But again, especially if you with like a reputable program, XYZ, there's a space where you have to be egalitarian. You have to make sure everybody eats.
Oh, yeah.
Like more than likely, your system probably reflects that because of you want to make sure that nobody thinks this is a daddy ball situation. And like, I think that those are the situations, especially depending on like my kid's level of development, I want him in. But then, like you said, when do you move away and then just be able to like cheer them on? Just be that loud cheering voice that they hear every time they make a bucket and be like, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a really powerful place for that. But if you be daddy coach all the time, if you're good, you can't ever do that. And that makes it hard.
Well, I want to say it's funny part about it. It was times where, you called me out when we were coaching together. He'd be like, bro, why you take Zai out? My mind is like, I don't want nobody to feel like his daddy, but he may not hit like 2-3 in a row.
Yeah.
Bryce, go get him. You know what I mean? So,
and the hard thing is like back at Grind, this was like during the Nationals where like, maybe I was being hard on him, but I don't know. Like I remember taking QJ out and that being an issue. And it's like,
I've been through the same
thing. It becomes like such a hard.
You little parents say like, "Yo, why is Zai not in the game?"
Oh, he trying to, and it's like, God, if I play him in something, if I don't play him in something, God,
how do I win this conversation right now? But
I experienced that too.
And to piggyback on what he says, like it happened to us. So 7th grade, we kind of did Team United, right? So to 8th grade, everybody kind of went their separate ways in a sense. You know what I mean? To where Zai ended up playing with Bobby. Kellen Premier.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the funny part about it, I went to the whole situation as a dad. Showed up to the first game, ready to sit on the sideline, cussing, acting daggone fool. Hey, man, I want you to sit on the bench. For real?
Right.
Every time.
Yep.
For real?
Every time.
Cool.
It
And then it got to a point, it was like,
now you over there with the clipboard.
No, the player that asked me to sit on the bench, I ain't gonna say the player's name. He was like, yo, I got you, bro. I'm gonna sit down. Well, now, mind you what, none of my kids was another kid.
Yeah.
Then it got to a point where, hey, I got you listed as a coach. You got a band. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, hold on. Let me pause you right there. That is the problem right there. That's the problem. Them tournaments cost too damn much.
Yeah, bro.
And the sweetest part about being a coach, you don't pay shit.
Pay.
You get that band, and then and it's cool.
Yeah.
And so it's like, And I don't mind saving 40. we had a circuit 60. I don't mind the 80. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing that makes it sweet, where it's like, damn, I want to sit my ass over here.
Yeah.
But I need that band.
So it got to a point where me was like, for real, bro, like, I've coached so long that most tournaments locally, I just walk in the gym and they just automatically assume I'm coaching.
Yeah.
What up, coach? What time your team play? I gotta check the schedule.
Yeah,
I mean,
and just walk in.
As a dad, bro, I ain't got no band.
They don't ask you nothing.
What parents be like, hey, how much you pay to get in? Nah, I just walked in, bro.
Straight.
Just walked in. But more than anything else, when it comes to coaching your kid, though, bro, it's like I harp back on it. Like, for me, it was more so that I knew the path that I took to get to where I got to, which got me a free education. And I figured that if I can at least give my kid at least that at the basis of things, I was going to do him the service. Now, it's funny when Q made the statements like, it's kind of a gift and a curse, because there are many times that he should have been able to succeed a little bit more in the game or in things that as a dad, I was like, nah, I gotta dial it back. I don't want nobody to feel like I'm making it about him.
Yeah.
And he may have earned every moment that he got.
That was his moments.
May have earned every moment, bro. But as a dad, it was like, as a dad coach, it was like, let me pull it back.
Scale it back.
Let me go ahead and sub somebody else in for him quick to make sure nobody feel a certain kind of way where you get afterwards like, hey man, why you keep side the game?
Yeah.
It's the parents talking now,
they do that.
Like I told you, we've been blessed to have a lot of a lot of dads for our kids. So we're talking about, you got dads saying, hey bro, why you take him out? He was hooping, he didn't do nothing wrong. And literally with moments I really couldn't justify taking him out, more so than not want to be considered
daddy ball.
A daddy ball.
But you want to know what? You better than me. If Tony was cooking, he was cooking. I ain't one thing I say, and people know, like it.
I got you.
Yeah, like I mean, if he was doing it, because again, Wayne, my program wasn't strong. I had a bunch of development kids, and that was another reason why I pushed him away from me, because I had a bunch of development kids.
He could have,
and he was and he
there for 30 and 20
or at least a piece on your team. Now, if not the featured, he could have been a piece.
Yeah.
So it's like, man. So it's like when he had them moments. One weekend I can remember, it was the best weekend I probably seen him play. He was shooting at a high clip, broke his arm, broke his wrist, trying to take a damn charge at half court. I'm like, bro, why you do that? Take it in the paint. Yeah, everybody running as fast as they can. But I was showing him the art of just taking charges.
I got
but
you.
he tried to be smart and take it, and that weekend ended up with him breaking his wrist on the shooting hand. But he was cooking. I let him cook, but I wouldn't tell him it came to him. It was just, he was feeling it. He pulled a Lamelo. He just,
that nigga can't stop.
I love Lamelo. I love
But you know what though? I feel like more than anything though, all three of our sons at every point in time we're coaching them were different players.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So like with QJ, he had to have the ball in his hand because he was the only de facto great ball handler that initiated for the team. Now you had other kids that could play on the ball.
Oh, he most definitely can handle the ball. Yeah.
He de facto point guard.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tony. He had a certain role for your team.
Yeah.
Same thing with Zai, a certain role for my team, to where, Parents get mad at you because their kid is affected by the fact you ain't got QJ in the game because QJ didn't get their kid the ball.
Right.
You know what I mean? Same thing with Tony. He ain't in the game to get my kid the ball, so put him back in the game for me. Zai was more so like, oh, he catching that motherfucker and shooting it.
Yeah. Tony Rowe on that team was shooting though. You know Tony has some crazy games over there with him.
You can put somebody else in to try to play that role.
Yeah.
Though. You know, but when you talking about somebody you need to be in a certain role at all times, then parents look at it differently.
Yeah.
I always took the mindset of thinking about that parent, how they thought even when they weren't thinking that way. Mm-hmm. So I overthought things myself just based on the fact that I knew what the kids can do. Like even when I brought kids in, like, you know, we had hired for gun players.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be a time I let this player come play. They didn't practice, but he understood my system.
Right.
Another kid would come out of town. He maybe couldn't get, for sure. But the boys enjoyed that player being added as well.
Oh, man, when you got that sequel kid, oh, my God. That was crazy. I ain't like that, boy. I was like, man, between him and Nas, they was just so.
Bro, and the funny part about it, we found sequel at BAM Camp.
That's crazy, man.
BAM Camp.
Shout out sequel. I just seen his dad. I was going to Concord Mills yesterday.
He worked at DTLR.
Oh, do we really?
Yeah, DTLR.
I didn't know that. I was just pulling up. I was just driving. You know, yesterday.
Yeah, the Charger.
Yeah, he was in the Charger. Yeah. I was at the stoplight. I look over. He look over. You know what I mean? We get the happy Thanksgivings back and forth. But shout out to Sequel. He out there in Indian land.
That's one of my favorite kids. That kid is the only kid, not only kid, but that kid that called me out of nowhere. Hey, coach, just called to see how you doing.
That make you feel good, don't it? Yeah, when you get that. I just out the blue. How you was
doing, bro? Just
or can I get in the gym with you?
Can I get in the gym?
Yeah.
I get them a lot from him and the cruises and all. It's like, hey, you know, and that makes you feel good. A kid trusts you to get them better.
Yeah, yeah.
They need to tighten up some things. Then they can call you, and you're gonna address what's needed to help them further that their game and be better in that moment, man. That's what I get a kick out of right now. It's like when I get that phone call, especially from that it player, that you know they done kind of left at the flock and went a few other places. Like they call back. I feel like they call them back home.
Mm-hmm.
Are you calling back home to the crib? Hey man, I know where the roots lie. Let's get back to it. And I embrace all that, bro. You know what I mean? But you know, just kind of capping up the whole dad coaching thing, man. It's been a blessing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I will say that more than anything else. I feel like because I've been blessed to be taught the game the right way. Who else better to teach my son but myself to play the game the right way?
And then just the road trips. Going on the road trips and, you know, go to get something to eat. That was me and Tony thing. We going,
man,
we eating.
To this day, this dude don't call nobody else but me. I'm like, bro, come on now.
Right.
God, you in 10th grade in high school, man. Call a girl or something.
Right. Right. But those times like that, man, you can't, you know, I wouldn't trade that.
Oh, for sure.
That's a good time.
And I think that's even like the overarching travel ball experience when it comes down to like AAU and whether just stay local or stay wherever, or go or travel. I think that one of the things I would never trade is the fact of like them road trips. Mm-hmm. Even though sometimes I was on coffee, Red Bull, and that morning trying to make it from like I leave Charlotte like 1 to get to Birmingham, Alabama at like 8. Got a coach at about 9 or 10.
You talking about, I drove to Ohio on the hum. We talking about them Philly trips for me. And then to be able to be a part of my son's first flight. Flying up to Cali together. Like he was nervous the whole time. He looking out the window. You know, I mean, like those moments, like you said, you can't trade for anything. Like I don't feel like if I wasn't able to even be a part of that staff to travel with him in that moment, would that have been the same?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I shout out to Aaron with EA Prep and everything. Like I went into that whole situation to be a dad.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm on the bench. Next thing I know, you know, what should we do here? You know, hey, what you see? You know, it's like, and you love to see that from a coaching standpoint, not a dad's, is that someone respects what you bring to the game as an IQ level, not just as that kid's dad.
Nah, he see you.
And that's the other part that's tough about like not coaching as a dad. And like I said, I know I'm a little different from y'all. Like if I did it again, I'd probably do it different. But I'm also such a thinker and competitive to where, like, if I can figure out a problem, I'd want to be able to express it.
Yeah.
And like, so like typically, like, again, if you know me as a coach, like, I'm not going to be like the most rah, more than like an analytical. And I'm gonna be like, this is where it went wrong. This is how we could probably fix it. And X, Y, Z. And like, that is something just as a man in general, I just enjoy.
Yeah.
Is being competitive and problem solving is and I think that most of us, especially like we're all coaches here. If you're a coach, that's something you naturally, innately have to enjoy, which is problem solving. Because that's the whole game.
Why did you lose?
Analytical about everything.
Yeah.
And not to be funny though, but y'all have to understand, like, he's right about he doesn't get rowdy, but when he does, it's like the most.
Oh yeah,
it's most like the most full moon.
Yeah,
innate type of moment,
like werewolf seeing the
like,
full
bro.
moon.
I mean, one time we were in Georgia, and somebody says, he's like, yeah, they sitting in the zone. He like, yo, what, bro? We ain't play zone all game, but I had to calm him down. Like, yo, Q, that's me.
Yeah,
I'm the rowdy one. You supposed to be the one to calm me down, but he took that personally that day. Like, hold on, bro, what you mean? Like, can't get mad. We busting your ass.
Yeah.
You get mad. We busting your ass. You gonna talk about we sitting in the zone? Like, nah. We sitting in gap and man.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that's why we beating your ass. For real. You ain't picked up on that part yet.
Right.
Oh, bro, took that thing personal. He got a little rowdy on that one. So, bro, calm down, bro. That's my role.
Yeah.
I'm the rowdy one.
Yeah.
You the calm,
be
cool,
the calm
collected one.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to be like, hey, Wayne, all right, chill, but get a check.
Right.
Chill.
But yeah, nonetheless, I guess that's a good pin to kind of put into the conversation about if you would coach your son. I imagine as we bring new coaches in, that'll be a conversation that we'll continue having.
Oh, for sure.
Where, again, if you are a coach, 9 times out of 10, at some point you probably have coached your son, and you've either decided to continue or not to, and it probably comes with reason. Talk to us. If you've seen this, let us know inside the chat.
Yes, sir.
Or the comments if you have, and if you made a different decision. But this is kind of a good landing space in general for episode 2.
Yes, sir.
We hit on a lot from the league to grassroots, from coaches to casuals. Again, Trey, you got something?
Yeah, for you.
What's on this parlay? Go ahead and talk to me.
Not even
talk to me about this parlay.
No, it's not the parlay. No, I just no, it's not. It's a couple kids I promised that I watched over the weekend. Caden Franks from North Mac.
Okay.
He got some length.
Oh,
left hand.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I
like
he got a smooth, like Paul George feel. I told him that. I was like, man, I like how you play, man.
He about like 6'3" now.
Yeah.
He done stretched out.
Oh, and he looked good. Caden Franks, shout out to him. Ashanti Taylor, Porter Ridge. They said she was averaging like 30 last year. I got to watch her play. They face guarded her. North Mac did because they knew she was a problem. She didn't get 30 on them. But shout out to her. Work on your defense, baby, and your motor. That's the only thing I see. Yeah, other than that, you're a bucket, but just be better on the defensive end. Nasir White, North Mac, he looked like Tyrese Maxey out there. He was killing it. Like this kid didn't transform Wayne. Wayne, this kid, I always said, man, who used to talk about if he learned pace, and he got pace now. So the city is in trouble. And then Reed Johannes from Mooresville High. Looked like he about 6'7", tall white kid. He was like fundamental, like kind of like Tim Duncan style. Like he was back to the basket, seal you, hook over top of you because he used his length. He had a good game. He got to a point where he pulled a slam move. He looked at somebody in the crowd. He said, "They cannot guard me." I was like, "Oh, that's what you want as a coach. You want that." But shout out to those kids, man. They look real good over the weekend. I don't know if you got any, but I told those kids I would shout them out.
I got you, bro. I got one. Let me see. Because she was actually pushing for her. Oh, shout out to Chad over at North Mac hitting that 1K.
Oh yeah, 1K.
That's a big number, bro. You know what I mean? So congrats to him. Got another player that I coached last year, Misa Garris. She's at Queens Grant. She's about to touch 1K. She may touch it by the time we actually put this out. So I'm gonna go ahead and just claim it for her. Congratulations on that 1K, baby girl, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, more than anything else, we just, hey, y'all subscribe, man. Y'all comment, give us your feedback, show us some love on everything, man.
Yes,
for
sir.
real, for real.
Yes, sir.
Episode 2, baby, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And like that, we out.
We out.